All
Hello.
Night.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
I want to do a quick round of introductions, which we probably don't need to, but go for it anyway. Start from the left.
Who's on the left?
Yeah, hold on.
This guy right here. Dee. Oh wait,
Right,
it's
okay,
not,
right.
is it like...
So it's
Yeah,
the same
that's
for
a bit
everyone?
different.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the same for everyone.
Yeah.
He's on the left, the right of you for me.
So we're next.
Don't tell me that was a Dee.
What? No, I wasn't
Nice.
so.
Nice.
Just,
Nah.
just
I'm
shit.
GD. I play Smash Ultimate. That's my main gist. Yeah, that's about it. I play Smash Ultimate.
it's good.
Yeah. What else do you need?
Alright, cool.
That's
Wrapped
what
up.
I'm known for.
My turn. I am Raptor. Nobody's probably heard of me. I make mediocre videos on the internet and play Dragon Ball mediocrely.
That wraps it up pretty well, and
What?
no, and your boy in the top right.
Alright, I'm Sock, or Jacob. I play Super Smash Bros. Melee competitively, and I stream a little, and I'm hoping to stream later tonight.
Oh, well, there you go. Be sure to keep an eye out for that. So I guess the reason why I kind of wanted to bring everyone together today was to kind of just have a little bit of a review over what the ATH FGC has covered over the last year and a half, as well as what's to come potentially in the future, as well as content as well. This is something I would have been wanting to do for a while, but hey, it's COVID time. It's no better time than now. Right?
No better time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so guess to start it off, the way this kind of started, right? Because I used to be with Atletico as a League of Legends analyst before all FGC stuff, but Mangy knew that I was in the FG scene, mainly Street Fighter and Super Smash Bros. Melee at the time. So he had a chat with me, asked if I'd like to run the Atletico side of the fighting game community, which it seemed like an amazing idea to me at the time, right? Because it's a start of something new. It was something I was passionate about. League of Legends at the time, I wasn't passionate about, but I was more than happy to analyze because that's something I like doing.
Mm-hmm.
But the games he gave me initially he asked me what were the top 3 games were at the time, right? And at this time, Dragon Ball had just dropped.
So that was the number one.
That was the number one.
That was the number one.
Street Fighter and Super Smash Bros. Melee. Those were the top 3. This was before Smash Ultimate as well.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
No, so Melee better than Ultimate? Oh, no.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. But we had hold on, give me a sec. Sorry. I just got a message from work.
Oh, good.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they want to
Gift
ship
voucher.
right
No,
now.
it's okay. Got a gift voucher. not let go. Whew.
Love to see it.
Okay, so initially at the time, because I hadn't spoken to a lot of the guys in the anime community, I hadn't instilled myself in a lot of the fighting game community in general at this point in time. It was a bit of work for me to just kind of poke around in each community, be like, hey, who's good? Hey, I'm kind of trying to bring in a new esports organization into the scene.
Right now as well, Dragon Ball is kind of not quite with the rest of the anime fighter community as well. It's kind of off in its own space as well.
Yeah, in the wise words of another man, it's exceeded anime, right?
Yes, because it suits for Dragon Ball because it's kind of not a part of the whole. It's I don't think it's seen as like anime.
Yeah. A lot of people say they watch Dragon Ball, but they don't say they watch anime.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's more like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, don't say that's all
Sure.
Marvel 2 fan,
Yeah.
but definitely it's got similarities as a tag game rather than an anime game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like that's what
I
you
meant.
would put it in a genre as.
Especially also because it came out literally as MVC died. So
Yep. Poor MVCI.
Good timing.
Yeah. Anyway, so because that was Dragon Ball was the game that I was putting a lot of time into at the time, I was aware of a few people such as Baxter, Dailu, and my mate Goomba actually told me about this kid.
yeah, I remember. Yeah, I used to thrash him a little bit.
Yep.
And apparently that's how I thought it was off like the YouTube and everything with the whatever success I was having, and it was like apparently they hadn't heard of it. So I brought it up, and they were like, "What?"
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've been
Okay.
watching. I think I spent about 3 weeks watching this guy's VODs, just to kind of see how he was
Hell
playing.
yeah.
Like as a player and as someone looking for players, right? Because at that point in time, I was playing Hit, and he's like, "Man, you should check out this guy. This guy's Hit is nuts, doing completely different stuff." Blah blah blah.
Hell
blah.
yeah.
And I trust Goomba. Goomba's good. He knows what he's talking about. So after checking it out, I could see where you were heading, and I was more than happy to pitch that.
Hell yeah.
So I pitched it to Mangy. Mangy was all aboard, and
Shit.
within a week of sending you the contract, we had you at your first event.
Actually, yeah, it was. That was wild. MEO was something else.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that
Was,
for a bit? Because I
not
actually
really.
wasn't there.
Well, it's like MEO was kind of it was mismanaged a little bit, and like it didn't get advertised. Nobody could find the Twitch link. Nobody, it was very, very interesting. We had shit like there was a Minecraft competition going on behind us. Fortnite was to the left. Yeah, Fortnite was to the left, and there were things like Tekken, and there was what's it called? The like rocket car soccer game.
Rocket League.
Rocket League.
Rocket League.
Yeah.
That's the one. There was that going on, and whatever they were doing with the stream was like they had it off when Rocket League was playing, and then Tekken came on, and then they had like "We'll be back soon" when you could clearly hear the Tekken audio going on where people were playing.
Oh no.
Like matches were going on, and it just like it wasn't being broadcast. You could literally hear them happening, and they it was interesting.
That's a little sad. But
It was. But
how was it
But-
as your first event, right? Because you
Yeah,
don't
it
have
was
any
still fun.
locals, right?
It was still fun.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I am like 8 hours away from local scene, so
That's gonna be hard to
all I
practice.
get is
right?
online. I get online, and that's it. Which is why, like, every time I show up to a competition, like just in general, I am at every disadvantage from every other top competitor in Australia.
And then already
So that's
Australia's
interesting.
disadvantaged too, so it doesn't help.
Pretty much.
But now they're in your domain because there are no lands, and
Exactly. Everything's cancelled. Everything's off. It's pretty funny.
But, okay, so anyway, that was the start of the ATH FGC, right? Then I think it was like a month or two after we'd picked up Raptor, I got a full resume from this kid. Kirsty actually forwarded on to me, saying, "Hey, this guy just sent us a full resume." And I read it over Discord. I think it was like, if I copy pasted that in a Word document, it'd be like 4 to 5 pages long. It was like a proper resume, like professional resume. It wasn't too overloaded either. It was just the amount of information I needed. And that was this guy. Yeah, Sock. There we go. Got there. So what was going through your head when you sent that through?
I was like, dude, I'm a student and I'm poor and I grew up watching the Atletico Counter-Strike team. I want to be on this team and they'll help me get to places and I can play video games and they can fund my addiction. So I gotta shoot my shot, man. And I was like, I feel like you probably get 10,000 messages a day going, hey, can I join Atletico to play Fortnite? And you know, like I gotta make myself different. So I thought, okay, what if I actually say what I've done? You know, say my achievements. And
Yeah. Well, look, you
show
definitely
off
did.
what I've done.
Okay, the standard person will. There's a rave going on above me.
Yeah. There it is.
The standard person will send us like a clip saying, "Hey, I want to join your Fortnite team," as an example, and just be like this 30-second YouTube clip of this guy doing one thing. And I'm like, "Cool, dude. That's." Don't present yourself to an org like that ever.
Yeah.
We'll
Not a good idea.
we'll check it out later, and then just
Later.
recycle it.
Yeah, that's it. It's pinned. It's in the trash. But after checking that out, I reached out because I still had people that knew me and vice versa in the Melee community, and they were both. They all said, I can eventually summarize that to. He's a good up-and-comer. He started taking a lot of wins recently. Be good to keep an eye on him over the next, period of time. and we were keen for it. Like after watching some VODs as well. So it's one of those things that if you're picking up a players, and this is for other people, not for you three specifically, but if you're picking up players, make sure you do your research. Don't just get in there off of the word of people. Always do your research. But that was a lot of fun, and then we had our first event with the three of us together. This triangle here, at BAM last year.
Ah, that was interesting, actually.
That was a good
That
BAM.
was good.
You'll
It
never
was
believe.
I gotta say, it was a good BAM.
Yeah.
You'll never believe. You'll never.
This
You'll
guy had
never,
some fun
band for
too.
me.
you'll never believe.
It was not a good band for me. Oh,
Oh,
Haha.
repping the medal.
Looking.
I think that's.
Keep it
I'd
close.
have got a medal.
I got the most improved somewhere there.
No, you got a trip to America. That's better.
Oh, I did too, but like
Sure.
in the actual bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's change the subject a little bit from the history lesson, I guess, because I feel a little bit bad about that. So let's talk about what was it, BAM 10?
10?
Or was it 12? Was it
11
12
was
this
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12's this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so BAM 11. All right. So let's start from Didi. How did you go BAM 11? Kind of let's talk it out a little bit.
Well, all right. So doubles. First off, I started with doubles, and I was just playing with a mate of mine from Geelong. We're just having some fun. Didn't really plan to do well. I just really wanted to play doubles with him because it's been a while, you know.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting 7th, and we were seeded to get like 17th, which was really funny. So we were really happy about that. Top 8 at BAM, can't complain.
Oh yeah.
And then we had the I had a $50 money match with someone on stream, and I lost 5-4 last hit.
Oof.
And then like after that, I went into the bathroom because I felt legitimately sick. I'm like, oh my god, this is not just happened. And then someone comes in the bathroom and says, "Hey Didi, are you in here?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" And they're like, "You gotta play Band Path to Evo." And I'm like, I didn't even know that was happening. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I play it, and reverse 3-0. Like I had to get a reverse 3-0 to win. That was half of the bracket with the round 1.
Yep.
And then I won through that. And then after that we had singles. Singles was not great for me, I think. Halfway through the day I got really stressed because I was recently a free agent. Just parted ways with a former team, and this was my first major as a free agent. So I'm like, yeah, I want to splash.
Yeah.
And during the event, there were just so many orgs. Athletica, of course, Kanga were floating around. Saw, I think, Chiefs maybe around. There's so many teams, and I was just like, I'm stressed.
So I think
I'm like, oh,
what'd you end up coming in singles?
I got 9th, which was I was 4th seed, so
Still not
getting
bad.
9th.
Well,
It's
that's
not
even
bad,
more
of
fun
course.
if you win.
That was my first time not getting top 8 at a major, like in Ultimate ever. So I was like, damn, the one major I wanted to get top 8 at, I didn't. And the year before I got 9th again, so it's like, I just wanted to get top 8 finally, but I just couldn't. And I'm like, alrighty then, that sucks.
Feels bad,
Um,
man.
And right after watching Ben Gold get the best win of his life, in quite possibly one of the best Australian sets, Ben Path to Evo happens, and I just like, I don't know, I had to fight Ben round 1. No, I had to fight Ignis round 1, who wasn't playing his main for some reason. And then I had to fight Ben, who at that point I was 7-0 against. And then I had to fight Ben again, and I made it to Evo beating Ben 3 times. I'm like, oh, okay then. So yeah, I get a trip. So I got to fight the person I have the best record against out of any Australian, which is like 6-0 against him at majors, and then I got a trip to Evo for it. So I was like ecstatic. I'm like, yeah, it's my first ever time going out of Australia. So it's like, it was great at the end of it. Even if singles wasn't great, getting to Evo was pretty damn good.
I can definitely imagine. Would that have been the best moment for you at BAM? No, it doesn't have to be within your game to be like the best
Oh,
moment,
best moment at BAM?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd say BAM 9, just my general singles run, and
Oh,
BAM 10 doubles.
It would have to been from this event, I mean.
Oh, from this event? Oh, that was peak, yeah.
That
I
makes
thought
sense.
you meant all the BAMs in general, yeah.
No, just from that tournament, specifically.
Yeah, that winning Evo, like BAM Path to Evo, was pretty... that was the highlight of the event for me.
That definitely makes sense, and that, I mean that's what we kind of, that's what I was able to go back and watch the VODs off of, basically your band path to Evo run, as well as how you played against different kinds of characters. Then kind of went back even further a little bit, but yeah, we'll go on that in a little bit. But Raptor, what about your band experience?
Oh, that was interesting. And it was pretty much where I realized that there's a lot more to playing the game offline than just playing the game. That was rough because it was things like person I ended up fighting in finals, Marmite. Essentially, he had the early bracket, so he played all his games real early. He was the first one, I think, actually. And what I did was I was last. I was in the latest bracket. So I played, I made it all the way through, and then I had to keep playing. Whereas he got to have a break. So to me, it was kind of just like, dude, I'll just play the game. I've played the game for like a number of hours before. It's no biggie, right? It starts to hurt.
Yeah.
And I was in winners bracket, and it was reset. It was 2-3, like best of 5. It was both sets were 2-3 down to the wire.
Yeah.
So that's when it's kind of like, if you were in like tip top shape, you start to think like, yeah, I actually probably could have taken that with how close it got, 3-2, both sets and things like that. But blitzing through is just an unknown online warrior. To like immediately be in grand finals winner side is pretty good.
Yeah, you can't complain about that. That's for sure.
No, I know there were a few people out there who weren't exactly sure how you'd rock up, but no, we had the confidence.
Oh yeah,
And you definitely showed them up.
I did. Fighting Falco was fun because I 2-0'd him pretty convincingly.
That was a
And
matchup we hadn't seen before.
That was that was the one where people like the entire like Dragon Ball people who weren't like the crowd that wasn't off playing, wasn't off watching anything else. They were like all watching this match, so the pressure was on as well.
I think that was the first DBC set I ever watched.
But Raptor vs Falco.
Yeah.
Because he was seeded second as well. He was like, him and Baxter were the ones to watch for this tournament, and Marmite and I eliminated both of them.
Yeah, I think because you knocked him into losers, and then
I did knock him into losers.
then Baxter got knocked out by Agent.
Agent. Yep. And then Marmite knocked Baxter out of losers.
Yeah.
It was kind of wild watching Agent beat Baxter though. That was.
He's a character, man. I love him.
It's like it doesn't feel like he should be able to get away with anything he does, but then he just does, and it's like, all right, you kind of just have to accept it. Like, all right, this is my life now. This man just mashed 5LLL from halfway across screen. Like, he's literally just mashing the shit out of the square button from halfway across the screen, and it worked. And it's not play him.
Yeah,
If I can, if I can, yeah, if I can avoid it.
Fair enough.
Preferably.
And what was your best moment from that ban?
I think it probably was because I had one hell of a gauntlet to get through. I'm pretty sure I beat Falco and then immediately beat Sendo and then immediately beat Dialu, and then had to play Marmite. And so it was kind of like, which is why it took such like a heavy mental toll on me as well. Where I was basically playing I think it was literally top 4.
Yeah. Like
just back to back, and then had to go and play finals. Where everyone else, because they had, I think all of them bar Sendo or Dialu, I think, and Falco, but he did get eliminated. Had the same bracket I did, so everyone else like had a chance to go take a break. Whereas I was just playing and playing and playing pretty much all day.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the
it was
harder things.
Hard fought second place as my first tournament is all right. And I actually got the medal for it. There was no medal for first place. There was no medal for first place.
They got a trophy.
He got cheated out of that. Yeah, you can't wear a trophy.
You got the convenience first place. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
It feels better. It's gold.
Yeah.
It's not not copper, not silver. It's gold.
Oh no, gold, baby.
All right.
But no, it was definitely really good.
Wow. So the gauntlet. Oh, that makes sense then. Like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I ran the gauntlet and I nearly won.
Next time.
Absolutely. Well, next year.
Yeah. I mean.
With this
yeah,
shit going on. Yeah, with this shit going on next year.
Yeah. All right. Sock, you're up.
Hello. So like best moment for me at BAM. Probably beating a previous BAM champion.
I say
You know,
Nick.
like SA Nick had been the best in the country for like 4 years. Well, obviously Spud was the best in the country at the time, but like SA Nick was had a reign there of like 4 years of being the best player.
Yep.
Something crazy like that, 3 or 4 years, and he had beaten Spud, who was like the up and coming player at the time, at a previous BAM. So it was just like, you know, it was very unexpected that I would beat him. And so I think that was such a highlight for me because that's when I realized that I was, you know, one of the top players in the country, like finally. Because before I was always considered like a high level state player where I'd be like top 3 in my state consistently. But then when it would come to like the majors, I would be like, you know, 17th or something, like 13th. But that was my first time just breaking through, and I was really, really happy about it. I believe I lost to Rainbow and Professor Pro
Yeah.
that band, so I wasn't heaps happy about the Rainbow loss, but Rainbow's like this enigma, and he just shows up after not playing for like 6 months, and then because the matchup needs to be practiced or you can't play it, and there's no other good Peach player in the country, it's just like, I don't even know. I had to play him without much warm up on the character, so I was just like, yeah, that loss sucks to take, and the prof loss, I'm not at that level yet, so you know, I was just getting outclassed, and when you lose the best player in the United Kingdom, you can't do that.
No, that's it, right?
Upset about it. Yeah, so, and he's picked up a lot of good wins, especially recently. Like, I think he got ranked around like 30th in the world in the last top 100 as well. So, you know, it was a really good band. It was just like, all things considered, I think I just learnt so much, and I think it was just like I hit some of the highest highs that I think I hit the highest high that I ever had competing in the game or even just playing the game period at that band, because I looked really comfortable, and I think it kind of set like I don't even know, it kind of set myself up for the future. Like, going on from that, I don't think I played worse Melee ever again. Like, I think I've only played at that level or higher since.
You set yourself a new standard at that tournament, basically.
Yeah, I think I kind of just leveled up. Like, me playing at my worst was way, like, my bad was so much better than it used to be. It was this very good feeling, honestly.
Yep.
By the way, I think Streamlabs OBS just popped up.
Yeah, no, that's right. I just got rid of that.
Yeah, all good.
You know, that run you had was pretty sick, and by far the moment I remember the most was the last stock, which I actually am gonna bring it up.
He's in the tree, young Foxman.
Just give me 2 seconds. I gotta figure this out. Just remember, guys, this is a scuff like stream. There's no professionalism here.
The tree was such
I'm feeling right at home.
Oh, thank you, Pokemon Stadium.
I think,
Thank you.
Rimey, was I sitting next to you when that happened?
I can't remember, dude.
I feel like I was sitting like 2 seats away from you or something. Because I just look over to the left and I just see you like jump out of the seat. You're like, yes!
Oh, dude, it was.
I'm just like,
Oh, thank you, Transformations. What a lucky counter pick for Game 5.
This really doesn't want to work, does it? Okay, you know what? Just take my word for it, guys. All right, go look up the Sock versus SA Nick BAM 11 top 64.
Right to last off.
Yeah, I got the timestamp for you. 14:30. Okay, go look at that
you just
stock.
got it.
Yeah, I had that all prepped, and I just can't get the fucking browser source working. I'm the worst. See, scuff as shit. All right.
You could just go display capture.
You know what? Might just do that. Give me a sec.
Yeah, it's the lazy option, but it works.
Then I have 2 display captures. This beautiful. Give me a sec.
and change your webcam into a
I actually
share screen.
remember how lucky that was because it was the part where the tree was rising. So if
Yeah.
I jumped like 3 frames later, I can't reach the top of the
You
tree.
just
And
spawned.
so I got in. I
Like-
just fit right in.
And you dropped it like twice.
I
I saw that
know,
shield come
I
out,
was
and
shaking.
I saw the shield. I'm like, oh, you missed it. And then you got the downer again. I'm like,
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
got
here
it,
it
and then he didn't get it, and then he got it. Oh, it's up now. Oh,
Oh, I dropped it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, there's a tree. Oh,
I popped off.
there's a drop. There's another drop. There's another drop. I think you dropped it 4 times there.
No, I dropped it twice.
Yeah, you did.
But it was,
I missed my jump cancel.
but
twice.
It's okay. It was still hype as shit.
That
Yeah.
was
I think you messing it up made it more like more hype. Been so terrified. Yeah, that was like the highlight for me because if you look at the end of game 4 when I get destroyed on Fountain, I look towards Sora in the crowd and I go, what do I do? Like, what's my counter pick here? I was saying, do I go Dreamland? Do I go Pokemon? And then he's like, no, I can't coach you. I can't coach you. And I'm like, fair enough. And I'm like, okay, here. Like, Fox vs. Mob, Dreamland is easily the best stage for Fox. However, I cannot stand playing it. I'm like the one negative is that he dies off the top later, except the positive is also, if you get tipped, you also live way longer. And so it's a risk that you take. It's just like, you kind of hope that you can hit them more than they can hit you, because if you don't, there's no like room for messing up.
Yeah.
And so like Pokemon was so scary because it was, we were just destroying each other all game. Like I think I 0 to death him right to start the game. Like it was a brutal start, and then I just get grabbed and then I die for it, and it was just like the whole crowd was freaking out too because anything could have happened. And honestly, I probably should have choked it, but stars aligned, you know.
I mean, that's what storylines are made of, right?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, character arcs, dude.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but no, that was a sick BAM, and I could safely say it was definitely before we brought DD on, that was like the standard to kind of work off from there as an org perspective. But from my perspective, I was just happy to be there.
Hell yeah,
I
dude.
played like shit. Although actually, Dragon Ball I actually did okay in for a while. I think I
Yeah,
lost to Marmite
I
round
forget
one.
who you played. You did. I remember
it's all
laughing
right.
because you had Marmite first up. I remember like the night before at the restaurant, and you were like, "Oh, I think Baxter's gonna like sweep Marmite," and I was like, "I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I think I would double check that."
And
And then
that's
he
after-
literally just came through.
That was after playing a first of 20 with Marmite beforehand. Just remember that.
Really?
Yeah, remember you were right behind me.
Oh,
What was the
wait,
score?
first to 20.
That was the first of 20.
I didn't know it was a first. I knew you just like. I thought you were
we
just playing some
smashed games.
casuals.
It ended up.
Yeah,
being
I thought
like 20
you would.
games.
I thought you did like 5 casuals or something, not like first to 20.
No, it was a.
But like,
we
if you
played a lot more
could,
than 5.
if you could have killed his Yamcha, you definitely could have taken him out, because the way he played back then was he would literally just only spark if he would rely on level 3 sparking like 7-bar Yamcha.
Yeah.
Which is the only reason, like the reason he doesn't do it now. He wouldn't do it against me, and the reason why now he no longer does it against anyone is because he went to Japan, played Fighting Tuesday, and then went, wow, I can't do that to people who actually know what's going on.
Yeah.
Learned immediately the hard way.
Those guys are nuts over there from
Oh, yeah.
experience.
I really want to go to Fighting Tuesday
When this is all over.
someday.
Yeah. When the world clears up and there's sun
Yeah,
again.
when
Ignore
the
this.
world isn't ending anymore.
This is artificial light. This isn't the sun. So yeah, okay. After BAM, then, right? We had shit. I'm trying to remember the timeline.
Big win champs.
It might have been Big Wim Champs. So between BAM and Big Wim, we actually brought on DD after some discussion, and so that was his first tournament with Atletico. And Big Wim Champs, well, those who don't know, is actually over here in WA. So it was something I was able to attend to.
That was my first tournament in WA as well.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
What do you think?
Yeah, pretty good. I was happy.
You were happy?
Yeah, doubles. I think that was the first time me and Jono ever teamed, and that would, Jono and I would go on to be, I'd say comfortably the best doubles team Australia. I'd say even one of the better double teams in Asia.
That was the first
As
time
a
I
whole.
watched Ultimate Doubles, and the synergy you two pulled off in that tournament was actually nuts.
Yeah, we lost one in the semis, and we're just like, alrighty then. And then we won 12 games in a row and just swept every single set. So it was like, that was kind of like when we established we were gonna be the doubles threat.
Yep.
And then singles, I got eliminated really early by Atlos. Atlos is kind of my demon. He like 3-0'd me, like crushed me, and I was like, yeah, whatever, losers, whatever. That set's done, go on to losers. And then I beat Lone Zen, and then I beat Poppet, and then, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember now. Beat Anus. I beat Anus last hit. I was so happy about that because he beat me in that money match at BAM, the $50
I do
one.
remember that, yeah.
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 So I thankfully beat him in the run back when it mattered a bit more. And I beat Luco. That was my first ever time beating Luco, and I was like, yeah, I'm happy. And then I lost
He'd
to
come off
Shrix.
from winning Phantom earlier in the year, right?
Yeah, he won Phantom. I actually lost to Atlos at Phantom as well. Ugh. It's kind of messy, our history, so fighting him was still scary.
Yeah.
And then after Luco, I lost to Shrix, got third place, but third place in singles, first place doubles.
It was a solid
It's really
event.
good. Yeah,
And,
it's really solid.
you know, out of all that, we got an amazing GIF. I mean,
Oh, the
just,
spinner
just look at this thing. It's a thing of beauty.
No!
The spinner Rooney.
Oh, it's
So,
iconic.
there was some... So one thing I've kind of... I kind of feel bad saying this. Top 8 intros are really awkward. Like...
Oh, we got another top 8 entrance later.
Oh, I don't even want to think about that. But... You know, that one was pretty good. I rate that.
The doubles at top 8 entrance was really good as well. Me carrying Jono in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of how we do in doubles normally.
He's carrying him.
Okay, so...
maybe in the early days, yeah, I carried him. Maybe not now.
Yeah. So that was BWC mid last year.
July.
And then...
Early July.
Yeah, it was around July. So then we had... was it?
No, Evo and then Sunnyside.
Yeah, it was Evo Sunnyside for you. Sunnyside for this guy. So let's just go through that. How was your Evo experience? Because that would have been awesome.
That was so terrifying. It's like I said earlier, it's my first ever time, you know, leaving Australia and going out of Australia to begin with. So
big step, man.
Jeez. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah. So I'm going from biggest tournament in Australia to biggest tournament in the world for the biggest game at this tournament. It's like, oh, all right. So I went in really scared, and like arriving in America, I'm like, wow, I'm in America right now. That's kind of weird. I've been in Australia for 16 years. Actually, it would have been 17. Just turned 17 at this point. And it was just crazy. The pre-weeklies I did really well at, and I was really happy going in. I went last hit with 41st in the world, Zaki, which was a good benchmark.
Yep.
Going in. And I actually almost had to play Zaki in bracket as well. He was fighting someone really early in bracket, and he got upset. So if I lost my round against his PT player, I would have had to play him for like 129.
Oh
no, I would have had to play him for like 170th.
Yeah.
Oh. But my bracket was really weird going in Evo. Like, I went in, got there 2 hours early because I didn't know how long the line was. There was no Wi-Fi in there. You couldn't connect to your phone because the room was so big and the Wi-Fi was near the entrance. So you had to walk like 10 minutes to get Wi-Fi.
Too.
Was that Genesis?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the main thing I noticed with it. And then when bracket started, I was just freaking out. I'm like, oh god, I've only got one chance. Do not miss your chance to, yeah. And then
About to start singing.
yeah, you get it. And then I had round 1 at Powie player who took me last hit, just game 1, and I was freaking it. And then I beat them, and then I had another Powie player. So I'm just like, are they just gonna be better than the last person? They were not. They were not. They were not. And then after that, I had an Isabel player, and I'm like, how did you get this far? How did you make it to round 3 winners? How have you done this?
Oh my god.
And then I had to play an Isabel in round 4 winners. I'm like, how did you get here? So I had the weirdest
Playing like a
run.
bottom 3 character.
Yeah. So it was like Palu Palu, Isabel, Isabel. I was going as seeded, and then I had my first roadblock. It was Sweet Tea. He was ranked to 9th in SoCal, I think, at the time. SoCal being one of the bigger regions
Yep.
in America for Smash. And I lost game 1. And I was like, nah, I'm not playing well. I'm not playing well. And the next game, I was down 3 stocks to 1. And I was like, alright, I'm going to lose this. And then, I don't know what happened. I just killed him with F-tilt, and then I back-aired him at like 70 when he was charging up Flare Blitz Facade. And then I got like a waft on him. And like, I popped off. Like, I popped off on a game. Yeah, I popped off on a game. It's a bit... He was so angry.
Hey, been there before, bro. I don't know what you're on about.
And then game 3, we were both at like 120 our last stock. And I'm next to him. We're both just standing there. I do a short hop and I see his shield grab just missed and I just waft. I just see the zoom in and I pop off. I'm like, yes, let's I can't swear, but yes, let's effing go! Yes! I'm like
Mumble.
screaming.
Can't
Yeah.
swear.
Kez is in the other room. She'll slap him.
No, I just don't want you getting TOS'd.
You don't get TOS this way.
No,
No,
I'm
you
fine,
don't.
mate.
Oh, okay.
Underage.
Yeah, underage TOS. Yeah. and then after that, it was kind of just a blur because I just see Sweet Tea. He gives me the most salty get off of me fist bump I've ever gotten in my life. He's just like, he like full on punched my hand and just walked off. And I just hear him be like, God, I fucking hate Wario plays. They're so fucking shit at the game. And then he blocked me on Twitter.
He blocked.
Yeah.
Classic.
And then right after that set, I didn't even realize, but Zero, who was the best Smash 4 player for 4 years straight in Wii U, he was behind me on his like stream with like 10k viewers, and they were all watching. And I'm like, wait, I had like 10k people watching that set. I didn't even realize there was like a massive crowd of like 50 people. And Zero interviewed me. It was just like,
That's so
well,
sick.
hang on, this is all happening too
Yeah,
fast.
he has the Guinness World Record for the most tournaments won in a row in any video game ever.
It was like 58. It was crazy.
Yeah, 58 tournament win streak,
And then after
including
that,
mostly majors.
like yeah, he won like 11 super majors in a row.
It's ridiculous.
And then he just says to me, it's like, how do you think you'll do versus DeBuzz? And I'm like, I've got to play DeBuzz.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. And then Coney comes up to me, he's like, yo, Didi, I got you on mainstream. And I'm like, wait, hang on, why am I on mainstream at
No.
Evo? So it was around this point, I was walking up to the main stage, I was like freaking out. Like,
Yeah.
I thought I was freaking out versus Sweet Tea, but I'm like, I'm on the main stage in front of over 100,000 people. Like, there's like 150,000 people in Twitch chat.
Yeah.
I'm playing a top 5 player in the world at the biggest tournament of all time to make top 64 winner side at a super major.
Yeah.
So I was like, I did okay. I took stocks.
That's about what you expect, right?
That's good.
I think the best part about playing DeBuzz was right after the set. He just went up to me. He's like, I see potential in Australia, and I'm like,
Damn.
that's all I need to hear.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good encouragement.
That's
Especially
motivation.
from like a
enough,
top
right?
5 player in the world.
Yeah, like the first thing he said when we walked off stage, he's like, "Yo, Didi, I see potential in Australia." Yo, Didi.
With this
I'm
massive
like,
lips.
yeah. Oh, I'm just saying. He reminds me, you know, Subspace, the blip enemies.
yeah.
yeah. Reminds me of that. And he was giving me like lots of hints that I took back with me to Australia.
Sick.
And that's when I started to do good. Oh wait, shit.
I mean,
And
we,
then-
we kind of skipped SSU there, but continue.
Yeah, and then after
Yeah, let's
that,
skip SSU, please, by all means.
and then after that, this is had to play Hakaru, who actually came down to Australia early in the year for Expand Gone 4. So I'm like, oh, I have to play this person again. So I beat him 2-1. It was last hit though, so I was scared. And then it was around this point I got too confident in myself. I looked at the bracket and I saw Harvey into Dark Rain, into Master Mario for top 32 loser side. And I was just like, oh, I can do that easy. And then I lost to Harvey 2-0, got 3-stock twice. So kind of got messed up by Harvey, but that's okay. It was like top 97th at Evo. I can't be mad at that.
Yeah, that's still a solid. Like for your first international, as well as
Yeah,
first traveling.
My first ever time traveling, my first ever major. It was like surreal.
Yeah, you just
And
can't
just
be
being-
disappointed.
Yeah, and having those moments like playing on the mainstream at the biggest fighting game tournament of all time, having Zero interview me, you know,
Surreal.
having a huge pop off moment. It was like kind of like surreal. And then right after Evo, I had a few more locals. I went game 5 in the reset with Master Mario to win one of the most stacked locals at the time they had. It was like 180 people.
And I mean, look,
And
that's a solid result, man. And the amount of experience you
Yeah.
got out of that would have been so worth it in comparison to.
yeah, it was like incredible. And I entered like on an amazing last tournament I had was WCW. It was like Wednesday Champion Warriors or whatever. I beat Zenu, a double limb Zenu, who's 4th in SoCal. Comparison to Sweet Tea being 9th, it was pretty big.
Mm.
And it was around that point I realized getting paid out in USD feels so much better than being paid out in AUD.
It really does. It's like
Getting-
like 50%
getting,
more.
Yeah, I get $80 in AUD. I'm like, wait, it's like $130 in
Damn dirty
I mean,
DD,
run around.
entering our tournaments, taking our monies.
yeah.
That's
So
how-
sick.
I think we
and that
actually
was-
got, like, from a social side, we got more out of you going to that local than we did at Evo. Like,
Yeah, you just get
Wow.
way more.
it was
No
nuts.
way.
Because we got you were on stream way more often because you were the outlier, right?
Yeah, I was going like yeah.
Yeah.
Match after match after match on stream.
And just the reactions from the commentators and the players in the background
That
were
was
just
so good.
This
great.
kid is so stupid. What is he doing? Wait, he's
He just holds forward.
and he plays a heavyweight.
Why won't he
God.
leave me alone? He's sitting on me. Get him off. Yeah.
He just loves Nair out of shield. What can you say?
Mm. And that was the end of my American trip.
That's good. And then you two had Sunnyside, which I heard was actually an amazing tournament, regardless of the results of anyone else there. As it was
Oh,
a
it-
run
it
sort
was-
of thing.
Yeah, it was run really well.
Yeah.
Shouts to the TOs. Battle Dolphin, Flex, Jet, like all the Queensland TOs are amazing.
Yeah, I was playing with a controller I got on the day, and the controller was broken, so that was hard. I paid
That
for a
reminds
custom,
me
I
of
paid for a
that.
custom controller, and
Oh,
the,
was it one of mine?
the controller, yeah, Vine Greens, and it wouldn't short hop at all, so I was stuck full hopping, and so I couldn't do any tech skill. It also drifted for some reason every now and then, and as well as that, it wouldn't let me ledge dash at all. So that was hype, and I got destroyed by 2 Queensland players. Well, not destroyed. It was actually last game for both of them. Except it was just like, I'll tell you what. I got a controller on the day, and I also spiked it on the same day. So
that run feels like me and Bam.
I got
honestly.
9th. Like 9th isn't bad, but because
Was it
I knew how good I was, I won doubles with Sora on a broken controller, and if that shows anything, it's I'm not a bad player.
Well, speaking
Yeah,
of broken controllers, I know this guy had one at BAM was it mid set?
No, it wasn't
night
mid set. It
before,
was
right?
actually as soon as I got there. So it wasn't that bad. There would have been time to like go out and get one, but it was fucking. I was probably going to end up borrowing someone else's if I couldn't get one, which was going to be rough as fuck. But like, it would have worked
Yeah,
out.
I went for
But
it
was kind of. I wasn't too worried, but it was kind of like fuck.
Stick on
Control my it's a bad omen. My controller just broke. Literally, I sat down. Like I said, "Hey boys, how you doing?" They're, "Oh yeah, do you wanna play?" I went, "Yeah." So I sat down, put my bag down, got my controller out, plugged it in, and then it died. Literally, like within the first few seconds of actually getting there and starting to play, it died. So that was interesting. And then Mangy came through like Jesus Christ descending from the heavens with 50 loaves of bread and fish with a new controller.
Yeah, we went for a walk, and he's like, "Oh, what kind of
Like the
controller does Raptor want?" I'm
golden
like,
light.
"One that works."
Yeah, just one that works. Like the golden light
Because I could lend you my stick,
coming
but
down. Yeah.
that we tried that night, and that wasn't. It wasn't a disaster, but it wasn't amazing.
Yeah, stick was interesting, but it was kind of like not like the night before a tournament.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking about hitbox, so I don't have to put up with controllers anymore. Because you don't get clean. You don't get clean inputs.
Yeah.
You don't get clean inputs on controller. It just doesn't happen
It's
because
so
of the way the pad's designed. But it's like learning hitbox. I will then have to completely relearn all of my muscle memory.
Yeah, for
All of
sure.
it.
I'm thinking about that too, and that's my concern as well. I'm like, I want to buy a cheat box, but it's scary, bro.
Like by far the weirdest thing on a hitbox for me is that so you got left, right. So if you go on the order from like left to
Oh,
right
yeah.
buttons, or you got left, down.
Yeah.
No, it's down. Left, down, right, and then your thumb button is up. Like jump.
Yeah, because it's
Like it's supposed to make sense, but for me, I just
it makes sense to me muscle memory wise a bit because of just like what 7,000+ hours at like arena shooters FPS.
no.
Like thumb being space jump, like button being down for like WASD makes a lot of sense to me. But I can see how if that's not like ingrained into your skull, it's that'd be a bit trippy.
I'd say the middle button would be W, but if that's the way you're saying it, then that makes sense.
Well, no, I don't. But it's if you're replacing like the middle usage of when your fingers are on that thing is like in the middle, it's either up or down, so it still makes sense.
Yeah. Well, anyway, kind of
No,
sidetracked.
it's still weird. Yeah, it's still weird, but it's you have to relearn all of your muscle memory, which is the scary part.
Yeah, it's just gonna take time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Didi, we kind of got sidetracked. What about you at SSU? Like, how did you do at that tournament?
Oh god. So I left America on Thursday night, and because of time zones, I ended up getting to Australia.
Sunday.
Right. I think it was Saturday at 6 a.m. and Sunnyside, my pool started at 10 a.m. On the same day. So I just had this like.
So you went straight to Brisbane.
Yeah, I went straight to Brisbane from America for Sunnyside.
God.
So I had this 18-hour flight into playing pools 4 hours after landing. Swept my pool somehow. Won dubs with Jono without dropping a set. I think we might have not even dropped a game. I don't think we dropped a game even.
That's nuts.
So I was like, damn, I did that like.
It's the USA level up.
Yeah, I was like, damn, okay, that happened. Went to sleep that night really early. Slept at like 7.
Yeah,
I slept at like 7. I just passed out.
Yeah. Jet lag too.
Yeah, and then woke up, went to the venue, and played top 64. I don't remember who I had really, except. Oh wait, no, I remember now. I think I had Flex round 1 who I beat, and then I had Joe. Now, Joe at this point, including Smash for Wii U, I'm 0-9 against. And this was my first ever time beating Joe, so I was really happy that I was able to beat Joe at least once before he retired. Which was
Fired.
Yeah. No, he's gone. No, I don't see him coming back.
You ended his career.
Well, he said
No,
it
no,
at the
no,
time,
no,
and then
no.
he came back to a tournament. So it's
Banjo and Kazooie ended his career.
Wait, who did he lose to?
Verse.
Oh, and then he just stopped playing.
He did a huge losers run. He got like 13th from 3 losers, but like, let's just say it's no 2019 Phantom DD run. And yeah, so I beat Joe, and then I had to play Strix. I got 3-0'd, demolished. I need to stop losing in winners quarters, really. I think that's my big fault, I'm realizing.
Wasn't that the
That
tournament
was me too, bro. That was me too. Winners quarters of the Phantom.
Wasn't that
Yeah,
the tournament
winners quarters are big win champs.
I feel like that was the tournament that everyone just died to Chrome Up B.
No, that was Phantom this year.
Oh, right, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Oh, that
I
was
beat
hilarious.
Extra game 5 last hit to get top 8 losing side. So I'm like, yes, beat Extra. Hell yeah! First time beating him at a major, so I was ecstatic. And then I got beat by Ghost 3-1. I was like, yeah, right, 7th place, first in dubs. It's good coming back from America after an 18-hour flight. I'll take it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a good outlook on it.
Yeah, I can't be disappointed.
Yeah. Hey, that was CW. Oh god, I'm losing track of all these damn tournaments. That was
Sunny
Sunnyside.
Side.
And then
MEO?
yeah, we had
Or
MEO
OHN.
before OHN.
Yeah.
So that was me and the 2 Smash Boys. And that was, I feel like the trip was better.
In the
Put-
tournament. itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love the trip.
Mm.
Bubble tea.
Staying
yeah,
with
you're
DD
so
is
upset.
just so. Everyone here can vouch for how weird staying with DD is.
It's not that bad.
I didn't say it
Of
was
course
bad.
you would say that.
but-
I had like 2 liters of milk
Interesting.
at Phantom.
What?
Dude, okay, so
Very
we-
bored.
No, it's story
show
time.
up at the hotel and he just literally the first thing he does, he opens the fridge and he finds the free milk in the fridge and just starts pouring them into the mugs and drinking it. Like, what the
Isn't
hell are
that,
you
that's
doing?
that's like what I or my siblings would do when we were like 10.
He just
Every
does
time, like, fucking hell.
I've actually got another story about that. At my school retreat for year 12, they because we had like 40 rooms booked out for the year 12 students, I went around to almost every room asking for the free milks.
You
There's
just
always
order the milks.
There's
What?
always
Wait, what?
There's always one, is what he said.
yeah, no, yeah. There's always one because there was a kid who did that in my grade as well.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that was me.
There's
Go
always
around.
one.
There were around 12 in each room, and I ended up at the end of the round getting around 120 of them. So I got like a solid carton's worth of milk for free.
10. You went around
How
9 rooms, steal all the milk, put them in your fridge.
Yeah.
That ain't right, man.
No, I
That
asked for
ain't
I
right.
asked for them.
It's
I
a commodity, man.
Also, we had 3 coffee drinkers in my room, so give me a break.
I just I don't know what to say. Look, there's a lot that we learned about DD on the MEO trip.
And the OHN one too.
Oh yeah, that too. And Raptor was
We'll get
actually
to
there
that.
for that. So I think.
Oh yeah, that was fucking wild. That was kind of like that was where I realized again there's still yet more to playing the game than playing the game.
But what we'll do, we'll quickly just glance over MEO too, because like I said, for us it wasn't
pretty
really about
fast,
the
yeah.
event. It was more
Yeah.
about the hanging and the chats and
You
the
just
fun
having
the fun games.
I remember I got to MEO. I took a train ride at like 9 in the morning. And I had to walk there for like an hour and a half because I didn't know the trains. And I was like, yeah, this is cool. And yeah, I got 4th in singles. You know, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
I was predicted to get 3rd, get 4th. I actually switched off of Wario for my first ever time at a major at that event.
That's right. You played Mario.
Yeah, I played Mario against Tommy.
Yep.
It was okay. Never again.
Yeah, no. Let's stick to it.
Never again. I took a game.
Yeah, you did. But I think the best part about that Smash Ultimate tournament wasn't the game itself, and I apologize to everyone who participated in that tournament, okay?
Oh.
Including both of these two, because Sock played in it as well.
I did well. I think I came
Oh yeah,
third.
so you did godlike. Yeah.
Yeah, I lost to Don B, but I ended up making a loser's run and beat the 2 best Falco players in the country, both 3-0, who I both didn't expect to. I thought it would be like game 5 and go either way, but I destroyed both of them and lost to Sora, the 2nd best in the country, so you can't complain.
Yeah. I think the best part was Baxter yelling at Nick. What's his name?
What's this?
Oh,
Extra.
Yeah, so extra.
Dude,
Wait.
I
I don't know the
fucking-
story. What?
I fucking adore Baxter. Holy shit! I need
He's
to hear
a
this.
gem in this community, and if you do not like Baxter,
I love
I am
Baxter.
sorry,
Yeah,
but
he's
you
great.
need to.
I've only talked with him once. I need to talk to him more.
No, he's great.
Come
But
on,
he
back.
yelled at Nick, "Hurry up, Nick! Daddy wants to go home."
Yeah, like, take him down already, Nick. Like, yelling out while he's on
Oh,
stream.
I remember Jono actually almost got DQ'd from that tournament because he didn't hear his name get called out when they were calling sets, and for half an hour he was playing friendlies on one of the setups, and he was gonna get plank DQ'd, so he's DQ'd into losers. But
didn't Pudge almost
somehow got
DQ you for almost getting there late? That
he
same
had 2 minutes
tournament.
late. Yeah.
Like okay, so for those who don't know, we had to stay in 2 different B&Bs because at the time the one that me and Sock were staying in wasn't big enough for the 3 of us.
That was.
So in the morning, we were gonna go back to the the original B&B, grab some of our gear, and then head back over to the venue. And then our Uber actually decided to fuck us around for an hour.
Yeah, it took like 20 minutes and then it cancelled.
Yeah, he just like cancelled the trip. I'm like, called him like, hey, where the hell are you? He's like, oh, I'm lost. I'm like, what do you mean?
I'm lost. You got a GPS in the CBD. How can you get lost in the CBD?
And he wouldn't cancel the trip either. So he tried writing my money out. Like, oh, I contested it, but that wasn't the point. It's the fact that about Aurora's we were going to be late. So it was a bit of a rush getting around there. I told these two just to sprint up.
We got to the main door. We were sprinting.
Yeah, that was silly, but that's all right. Look, that tournament happened. Let's move on.
Yeah,
MUO was a mix of feelings, I feel. But it was alright. It was fun. I had fun.
It was chips and nuggets at a
Alright.
Asian restaurant.
Food of champions.
And then I think it was OHN 16, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this was the big one for the 4 of us last year.
Yeah, this is like the first one I think we'd all been at.
Second one.
Since like BAM.
Yeah, since BAM.
But BAM I wasn't really like, that was like right before I joined up.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have the entire team there for once. And from memory, I actually did okay in Dragon Ball here as well, which
I forget who you played first.
I don't know, but I
did
felt
alright
bad
too.
for the kid.
Yeah.
No, it's like someone who played super casually, and I just
I
touched the death dim like first character, and it was a little rough.
Quick story about that.
I think I know exactly what you're gonna say.
I had to play the CEO of Legacy. I had to play their little son, and I JB4'd him.
Fear that can hit.
Yeah, I just didn't take any damage, and I just
To decipher to decipher the DD talk, essentially what had happened was the son of Legacy CEO had signed up for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Singles, and in
And you
first
didn't lose a
round,
life.
no, he didn't get touched. 0%. It was.
That sucks. Well, I mean, it's how old was he?
I think it
He's
was
a
legal
small
age.
child. He's like,
Yeah, it's no.
Next
Whatever his name is.
next game I chose random, and I accidentally killed myself a few times.
Sandbagging. No remorse, man. They entered a
No,
tournament.
he was laughing. He was having fun. I'm like, as long as he's having fun and I don't lose, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I didn't know after I played Warrior the first game, kind of demolished him because I didn't know how good he was. I'm like, you could be a prodigy for all I know.
Yeah, that's it. Well, enough of that. Then
Yeah.
we had.
OHN.
Hey, let's start from Raptor this time. It's been a while since he's talked.
Yeah.
Alright. So, what's the what are we talking about?
Hey,
What's this?
like experience.
Was this just OHN?
Oh yeah, OHN. What we did there, funny stories.
Because that was, I had done really well, but essentially I just got stage fright and collapsed a bit, which hit me pretty hard because I had been playing really, really well, and everything was kind of set up where I definitely feel like I could have won. And then I just bombed out because I wasn't playing anywhere near my best because I just got stage fright. So it was kind of just, that hit me hard because it was so much wind up and then I just wasn't able to do anything with it.
Yeah.
And I kind of had to reevaluate that shit, which is definitely a necessary lesson learned when moving forward because I'm going to need, if I ever attend EVO, that's probably going to be like, if I got rattled sitting on a stage that small, then getting up on Evo would in the state I was in back then, probably would have fucking destroyed me. So it was definitely something I needed to learn, but it just felt like I beat myself up for it, like probably worse than anything else because it felt like I absolutely should have done better. I know I can do better, but then I didn't, so it was like, oh.
Yeah. That makes sense. Well, what about the rest of the trip, though, right? So you had the
The
tournament.
rest of it was really good, yeah. It was, traveling down wasn't bad, although it's traveling anywhere from where I am is just always a pain. So it's it's never too bad, but it's kind of just like I live out in the middle of fucking nowhere, so getting anywhere is just beyond annoying. That's why when people say, "Oh, you just go compete in like the US, overseas, anything," it's like it is unbelievably difficult to just travel within Australia. Going anywhere else is fucking impossible.
Yeah.
I can just imagine, man.
But yeah, it's like 2 plane rides and then like a train and then an Uber, and it's like, and that's just at minimum. That is just at minimum.
Adding more to that is just
So that
a
shit
bit of a
sucks.
fuck around.
Yeah, it's just hard to get anywhere.
And favorite part of the trip then?
Oh, I don't know, because I think just being amongst it at events is a lot of fun. Just being around people who also like fighting games and Dragon Ball, and just being able to be in that kind of space, and like if there's some dude just like sitting next to you, you know he's probably going to be aware of what you're talking about. If you play him, you go, "Oh, that was 27 frame low, by the way," then he's going to go, fucking yeah, and actually know what you mean.
Yeah, unless you're like some people and just don't look at frame data.
Well, it's whatever.
Yeah,
It's
one
kind
of
of
those
just
things.
like it's just like having everyone
It's the
around
rigor.
that's also kind of like in the loop,
Yeah.
sort of thing, which is probably one of the most enjoyable parts.
Yeah, absolutely. So just the community in general.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And it was a well-run tournament as well. So props, a shout out
Yes,
to
yes, it was.
Yusuf. I know there are a bunch of TOs that were helping him out, but he's the name that comes to mind at the moment. And I guess we'll go. Who wants to do first? Sock, DD.
I don't mind.
Yeah, cool. Sock.
Okay, so for me, OHN was like I was coming into it expected to win because at the time the only person who, like, there were like a bunch of state ranked players, but none of them were top players except an ex top player who only became an ex top player because he kind of just wasn't playing really as much anymore. It wasn't like he dropped off, which was ZXV. ZXV actually was one of the only 2 players in the last 3 or 4 years who had ever taken a set of Spud. And so he is like a very good player. He used to be the player just below Sora in New South Wales, but above Rainbow and MC and Country, like all these guys.
Yep.
And I ended up just having a pretty good bracket, went all the way through. I beat all the people I was supposed to beat. I think I 3-0'd Luma, like really convincingly. I 4-stocked Luma on one of the games on Dreamland, his counter pick. And so I was playing really, really well all weekend, and then I got to ZXV in winners finals, and I just 3-0'd him convincingly. He went to Marathon FD on game 3, and I 3-stocked him, and I was just playing super well. And then in grand finals, he went all Sheik, which is his main. And he's like, "No, I can't try cheese him. I have to play him." And I 4-stocked him on his best stage as well, Fountain of Dreams. And I was like, dude, I was playing so well. I didn't drop a game that major. Like,
That's huge.
it was more like a stacked regional because not like a bunch of like top Australian players, more so just like top state players there. So yeah, I was seeded to win that, but I think it was more so how convincingly I won it, which is what I think I wanted to show. And so it was really good to be able to say, I 4-stocked the second seed and didn't drop again. I was super happy with it.
Definitely, man. That's a result and a half. And anything else from OHN that kind of stood out to you?
It was great to be exhausted and get my first trophy and then go home and then be watching Bradley on stream on the car ride home while my mum tries to ask me a million questions how it was and congratulating me, but I just couldn't look away from the screen. I was watching his sets like I can't. I have to watch.
Yeah,
that was an event.
It definitely makes sense that you went before Brad because Brad, let's talk about your experience.
Yeah,
You think Sock winning doubles and singles is big, and then you just bump it up a bit more somehow.
Yeah.
It's like, as an actual event, like just as an experience, I think it was great. Just being able to like chill at the Airbnb, be with just a bunch of gamers doing gamer stuff, like watching YouTube videos about games and playing games and being gamers. Having Pepper
and
for
then
my
watching
first
horror
time was
movies.
something.
Gamers.
Yeah, Core gaming. Having Pepper for my first time was something else.
I don't get that either.
I
Pepper.
forget that you've been like kept in, like Fallout tier vault for your entire life.
He's like baby in a tube, kind
Yeah,
of.
I'm
Pretty
actually
much.
in like, I'm actually in like, what do you call it?
Underground right now.
Yeah,
The bunker.
I'm in a bunker. Yeah.
They only let him out every major. And they
Alright,
only
Diddy, it's your
just feed
time.
him McDonald's.
Oh,
Yeah.
online classes isn't that new to me, honestly.
That's all he has.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
but it was just fun to just walk around Sydney, staying in the Airbnb, playing in that. But as a tournament, whew, going into it doubles, that was Jono and I's first ever loss. Like not getting first place at a tournament, and it was kind of like not even close to first. It was like fifth, and we were kind of devastated at that. So it's like, yeah, whatever. And it was like I knew I stuffed up as well. It was like Jono was playing good. I was just playing like garbage. So I was terrified going in. My round one, I almost lost to actually. I had to play Jay.
I'm like top 64.
No. My round one of pools.
Oh shit.
I had to play Jay from ACT, and it was game 3 last hit. And at that point, I was just like, step back. And then I had Rog. I beat Rog and made it out winner's side. Oh god, I don't even remember my bracket. There was so much that happened.
I feel like there are a few things that
just-
kind of overshadow a lot
Clutch
what
box.
happens that tournament though.
Yeah, I like to think about the bigger moments of the tournament,
Yeah.
not like.
Not the climb to top 8. It was the top 8 itself. That was mentally
That's
draining as a
okay.
spectator.
As
Oh
ex-
my god.
But as a
I had-
player, I can't imagine what you went through. Like that.
Ugh. I remember now. It was PazX I played to get top 8 minutes. That's it. But I had Shrix, and the last time I played Shrix was Sunnyside, and I got walloped, destroyed, smooshed, crushed at Sunnyside. So I went in terrified, but 3-0, 2-stock, you know, not even close. And I was feeling good, actually. The break between top 64 and top 8 was very needed. And I had to play Jono, winners finals. Now at this point, Jono, me at majors with him, I beat him at Expand Goal and Phantom, but then he beat me at the most recent major we had, which was MEO. MEO and Big Win Champs, actually, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
it was
he did.
big win as well.
No, because I also Shrix it. There was another major I lost to him at. So we were 2-2, so this was like the de facto. And I beat him in winners finals 3-2, so game 5. And I didn't even pop off. I was just so in the moment. I was just like, yes, and that's it. All right. And this is my first ever time in winners side grand finals at a major. So
Yeah.
I didn't really realize that until after the event, but I'd gotten top 4 at 8 majors, I believe, before this event, and not winning a single one kind of like, you know, it was getting me down a bit. You know, second at Phantom, third at Big Win Champs. It was just like a lot of these places that I was like, I'm so close, but not there. And then in the grand finals run back, Jono had like a 15-minute break between grand finals and winners finals, or losers finals, sorry. And it like got me genuinely anxious. I'm like, am I just gonna win by not playing the game? Is he getting DQ'd? What's happening? But then he came back, and I'm like, okay.
The best kind
So,
of win.
What I can do here is
Yeah.
I can kind of just.
I
chip in a
take
little
that DQ win.
Yeah, sure.
I can kind of chip in a little bit. So we were kind of. I got to talking to Man, why does his name escape me? Kanga's.
Lawrence?
Yeah, Lawrence. What had actually happened was he was kind of having like a nervous breakdown because
Yeah, I heard about that.
and then like Lawrence had to kind of snap him back into it, saying, "Dee wouldn't want you to pull out of this. Dee would rather fight you at your best. So get back in there and give him a good
Get
fight."
back in the damn room.
I think on the inside,
I kind of like summarized it, but you get the gist.
Give it
I
a
think
Wallet.
on the inside, I really wanted to play him and win, but on like I was also thinking, I really just want to win. So
Yeah,
it's DQ'd,
sure.
it's
Just take it.
If it's DQ'd, I take it. But if I
You felt
win
like you were
and
playing
played-
good enough, you deserved it anyway.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. And then he came back, and game 5. This set, both grand finals were one set of the year for Australian Smash. So
Oh, for
let's just-
sure.
Yeah, easily.
easily.
Game 5 of the first set, we were both last stock, and I hit my comeback X-Factor move. It usually kills almost always, but I was a few pixels too far to the right of him, so he got sent the wrong way. And then we're both at like 110, and he gets the kill, and he pops off. He's like sprinting around the venue, and I'm just sitting there like, man, I want to cry. That's
Got another
bullshit.
set to
No,
play,
so-
bro.
I'ma just add-
bullshit. I should be winning right now.
I'm gonna add something in real quick. That desk bang was something else.
No, that was
Oh,
midway. That was the second
right.
set.
That was yeah.
So
You were
next
down.
set, I lost game 1, and then game 2, I had the kill, but I just panicked and just stood still right next to him. And then he won that game, and I was down 2-0. So I was just sitting there for like 2 minutes, just like,
I remember that.
oh, I'm so.
You went into Zen mode.
It's
Yeah, I
biggest-
meditated.
the
Yeah, he
biggest
actually
mental
meditated.
reset I've ever seen in my life.
I've never seen anything like it. It was down 2-0 in grand final set 2 of his first, like,
Major,
side.
where I had the chance, and like I literally lost, potentially winning the set by a few like pixels to the right.
mm.
So like
Coming
after like 20 seconds of sitting there, I just like bashed the desk. I'm sick of this shit. I'm fired up, and I actually like thought I broke my hand there. The break was not really for the mental reset. I like actually was just like, oh crap, my hand hurts. I'm having a break. So then that next game I played, I 3-stocked Jono. Like that's the first time anyone's ever 3-stocked him. So for me to do it, there was good. And then the next game we had Town, and the set previously and the set before that and the set we had then, I hadn't beaten him on Town, and then I beat him on Town. So it's like, all right, game 5 reset against someone. We're now 3-3 in set record count at majors, and then like the first 2 stocks are a blur. I don't even remember them, but somehow we're last stock, both fresh. And then there was one part where I got an up tilt that missed by, I think it was 2 pixels when I looked back in the video.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
And then I read the roll and I did the up tilt, and he shielded it on the first frame he could have, and he grabbed me for it. And I was just panicking. I'm like, he has missed 2 deaths by like literally like frames or pixels. I'm like, and then when I was off stage, he threw the boomerang, and then he did a single jab on stage, and I'm like, I should have been forward air. That was true. So he was in the spaghetti moment too, and I realized that.
Yeah, you
'Cause
realize
if
he's
he-
panicking
if he-
as much as you are.
If he pressed forward and then A instead of A and then forward, he would have won the set right then. So I get back on stage, I get the nair. His boomerang was around 2 frames of hitting me after the nair, like of coming out. As soon as I input down B, I like jump up already. I've
Yeah, I
already jumped.
remember seeing that. I thought it was like a stream delay thing, but it was actually like you did
The
it
stream
so
was
early.
delayed
You
by like
pop-
half a second.
Yeah, but you popped off so
I
early. It was
literally
like
like as
just
soon as
before
I got the
watching
nair,
that.
I like leaned in and I input down beat and I like full on like get out of my chair. I'm like at an almost standing position, and as soon as like I even see the color for the move hitting, I'm
You
just
know it was
like
gonna kill. He knows.
I
he knows
just
his
scream at
percents.
the top of my lungs. I'm like, yes, my first major. And I'm freaking out, screaming at the top of my lungs, like, yes, finally. And like having like 80 people rush the stage. Even the Tekken players were like screaming and stuff.
Oh, there were
It's-
side
Yeah, they were
bets.
all watching.
Mate,
you know,
there was more than watching. There were side bets.
Yeah.
So the fact that like I think the main thing that just made it so amazing was the first set being last hit and just losing by a few pixels, and then the last set the reverse 3-0, and the fact that the last stock should have ended like 3 times before it actually did, and then the fact that I won. I liked that I won,
That part's good.
Did you? I can imagine.
Yeah.
and
Funny
I'm like that's the second time I've ever cried during Smash Bros.
Yeah, fair enough. Honestly.
Did
It
you
was
have
like- it was
something
like-
to put there, Raptor?
What's that?
Or did you have something to say earlier?
No. I'm just, I'm just taking the piss.
Yeah, but it's like damn, all right, first major, hopefully of many. And damn, the plane ride home, I was just like, had the biggest grin on my face the whole time. I had the trophy in the car.
Oh,
I was
for
just
sure.
looking at the whole way home. Yeah, and that was OHN. It's just an insane singles event, insane social event. Not an insane doubles event, but that doesn't matter.
You know, I think the rest of it kind of outweighs the doubles, right?
Yeah. And winning set of the year. I've got a medal somewhere over there. Oh, I could probably find it.
Alright, I don't think this is a metal show-off show, boys.
It's somewhere there. Oh, Raptor's already shown one off. Come on.
Yeah, man.
He had it on hand.
Flex. I do. It just kind of sits here on my desk.
I mean, I've got my trophies.
I forget about it sometimes. I don't have like a trophy case or anything, so I just leave it on the desk. It's fun to flex it on stream if anyone wants to get lippy.
So I remember that one time.
Remember this one
Yeah,
time where
That's how
I
I
made it
feel
to
too,
grand
bro. I just
finals?
get out the
Yeah, I
one-time
thought so.
trophy. That's
Oh, I got the 2-time trophy.
alright.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Alright. So, I think OHN for me was pretty interesting. It was less about me keeping an eye on you guys and, you know, helping you guys out. It was more kind of like a bit of a social event for me, because I actually got to hang out with a lot of the Tekken community, because at that point I kind of dropped everything else just for Tekken.
Mm.
And I went 0-2, so, you know, beautiful beautiful
Yeah.
Tekken experience. Dragon Ball still get 13th. I'm glad that doesn't happen anymore.
That's
Like,
yeah.
no, it was sad, man. I should not have been getting higher Dragon Ball placings without playing the game for months at a time.
That's fair. It's also, it depends on who showed up, because I think also your bracket kind of just your bracket was interesting in that you had all the killers up front, and then I think it was everyone else, the like players, because I knew some of them from online, like I recognized the names.
Yep.
So it was, you definitely had first and foremost, you just had like a literal impenetrable wall. And then it was just like everyone else.
Pretty much summarized it, but you know, it is what it is, right? I think,
Yeah.
But I think the best moment for me, right, was when they got me on stream for Tekken Game 1 for no fucking reason. Like, oh, Rimey, he's got a sponsor? Get him up there. And like, some of the guys that know me at this point, but it wasn't worth it, man. I had some of the WA guys cheering back home, but it's...
Rimey squish.
Nah, I still put on a show, but Twigsy's Twigsy. And for those in the Tekken community, they know what I mean. He's his own sort of character and playstyle. You don't learn to play against Feng, you learn to play against Twigsy. Anyway, other than that, getting DD to try
Every
a bunch of
community's
shit.
got an agent.
That's it.
Pepper.
Yeah. But getting
Did
DD
they
to
have
try a bunch of shit. I think what?
Cherry ripe.
No, it's Turkish Delight.
Turkish
Oh, Turkish
delight.
delight, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, Turkish Delight. I don't know how you didn't have Pepper. Bubble Tea was a different one, a different event.
That was MEO.
Yeah, that's right. That was MEO.
What's that? Custard? No, not custard. Is it custard?
Yeah, it would have been custard.
Yeah, I had a custard pile, custard tart, I think.
As we were leaving.
I think actually I had that at home when we recorded it.
Yeah,
Like right after MEO.
I think so. But I think in general, OHM was a better experience for me than the previous ones I went to last year. Which there were quite a few. Like, we're still going through the list for the rest of the year, right? There's like 2 to 3 more tournaments before the end of it, which is crazy.
But how many of those are like, it's wild to think how much is going to be affected by this fucking
Virus.
the Kung flu.
Yeah. Common
Where?
I'm just gonna go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back in like a minute.
All good.
Oh,
All good. Yeah, no.
We're losing BAM. We're losing OHN, MEO.
Bam is sad. I was hoping to show up to
Yeah,
Bam again.
BAM's like we're missing maybe Sunnyside 2. That was big. Big Win Champs 3. I don't think was running anyway, but that's still sad. We might miss the ACT major, the first one they've had in like 4 years.
I think even Evo's going to have to decide sooner or later.
Yeah, Evo should not run, or it should be an
I don't-
online Evo.
That'd be. It's sad too, because that was like they brought MBC2 back for like a,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
fun,
Oh,
a
so
fun
good.
like
MBC2.
invite show, and then it's like a plague hits essentially.
Dude, I downloaded an emulator
Wild.
just to try and get some games in. You know, had some people over. It was MVC2 was fun.
I was keen to watch Yipes play
Oh, that would have been sick.
because it definitely feels like the way he talks about some fighting games is like because he's been up on that stage. It's like he probably wants to be up there again, and
Yeah.
now he can.
Light punch,
Yeah, come on, what's the rest?
medium punch, light kick, heavy kick.
Punch! It's
Gotta
heavy
keep-
punch!
Is it heavy punch? Oh, I've dropped it. Gotta keep that rhythm going.
I don't know if you can hear that, but that's the timing of it.
Yeah, I hope if Evo is cancelled, they don't like they keep everything how it is for the next time they run it.
Yep.
For like the year after.
No new game announcements. I mean, we
Yeah,
got-
please, like just I want to watch the MVC2. Don't fuck this up.
I want
the
Maybe
one
they should
sad
make
thing,
up to us and get more events.
I was just sad that they made it a top 8 invitational.
Please
instead
don't
of
give
a,
me hope.
I mean, I understand why
Honestly,
they
keep
did it.
Melee out. Keep
It's
it
also
out.
it's also going to be it's going to be more interesting that way. I feel because you're like we're not going to see because every Evo there's always people who are like they try a game for the first time, and if it's MVC2, there's only going to be just like the only matches worth watching because of the kind of game it is. It's hard to like pick up if you have no other prior knowledge of it. The only matches worth watching are going to be the ones of the veterans who played this specific game for so long. So they kind of just skip the middleman and say, let's just invite only the veterans.
yeah.
So rather, because I feel like the only matches you would have had otherwise are just like, there would have been a few other good ones, but it would have mostly just been
I mean,
like okay matches. So we're only getting the like top fucking quality, which I think is really good.
And if you get the
and
high
that's
people
fair,
versus
right?
the low people.
Like we are literally skipping straight to top 8. That's crazy.
Yes, but like imagine if we did that in a Dragon Ball sense, right?
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean
there's
it's
more than
like
8 players that like.
I
would be
know,
worth watching.
but it's kind of like
Yeah, but Dragon Ball
with
hasn't
how
been out for
old.
over a
Yeah,
decade.
that's what I mean. With how old MVC2 is, and it's like Marvel in general is kind of just like a ghost at the moment. If they ever release an actual Marvel game, not whatever the fuck Infinite was, an actual one,
Yeah.
then hell yeah. Otherwise, nah.
1
It's
second
like
sports
and it's
boys.
not-
like-
1 second tag outs. That's what Infinite was.
And if you got like, and it's not like Melee where the game stayed alive. It like hasn't died at all. But like MVC died for like half a decade plus. So it's like you can't even.
The thing is also like Dragon Ball released months prior.
Yeah. There was
Like
really new.
oh no, it released after. Although the thing was, its beta was on the same weekend the game released, and literally the beta for Dragon Ball had infinitely higher like reception than the actual full fucking release of MVCI. So that was kind of an omen of things to come.
Yeah. That's all good. I mean, look.
The
Gotta
game,
try new games as well.
despite the gameplay, because people said it was good, I believe that it's the kind of game it was that like Capcom kind of just like they gave them the budget of a ham sandwich and half the time it would take to make one to push this game out, and it didn't really deserve to do well.
Yeah.
In a
And
sense.
It's like DBC and MVC. They got kind of similar systems in how tag outs and assists and all them work. And
At a core concept, it's a spiritual successor in a way, where it's some of the core concept. It's a tag fighter.
Yeah, and
which
they've
is
got to try the new games. That's just what Evo does. Same showdown.
It's also MVCI had none of the characters people actually wanted because Marvel wanted to push the Avengers films, so it was only the Avengers, no X-Men, no whatever.
Hmm.
Sorry, Mag. You're in every other game, but not this one. Anyway,
Yeah, I like watching old MVCI and
Dude.
just seeing like Zangief, Sentinel, etc.
look, I could talk about Marvel 2 for ages and how Magneto had a 1-frame crouching light kick, but we should really move on a little bit.
Yeah.
So after OHN, you guys had Big Cheese.
Yes.
How was that?
Good.
Cool.
Good, yeah.
Alright,
yeah.
Well, let's
Good
rephrase this
point.
then.
Oh.
Alright. Were there any other tournaments between OHN and now that are kind of worth talking about?
I just won a bunch of monthlies. I won like 4 in a row.
Yeah, I only stuck to like online weeklies after that because I didn't have any other tournaments.
I did
And
really
then the Kung
bad.
flu hit, and then the plague hit.
Hey.
I
Yeah,
did
maybe
really bad with those like 3 months between those 2 events.
I mean, you did have what was it, Couch Warrior Cross Up 2?
That was after.
No, that was
That was a
December.
week after Cheese.
Yeah.
Big Cheese was December. Yeah.
But I'm saying like between then and now, right?
Oh yeah, and then we had I had Metashift as
Yeah,
well.
Metashift
and
as well.
Phantom. Big Cheese. Big Cheese 2 won an event. Doubles, me and Jono won. That's
the
you know,
standard.
yeah, me and Jono winning again. I think that was like at that time it was like 5 majors in a row. Beside OHN.
Yep.
What else did we have? Singles was cool. Very upset heavy. It was crazy. We had Jono bow down at 13th, Purple H at 9th. It was just a lot like that, but I didn't really enjoy losing the sets I lost because I lost to Extra and I lost to Joe, which is like, I don't like losing to them, but it's like, just because they play a way that I can't beat very often.
That's fair.
So it was kind of just like upsetting losses, but other than that, it was like, yeah, it was great. I loved watching it as a spectator event.
Okay. Cool.
I haven't watched Melee a lot.
And what about Melee, Sock?
Yeah, Melee was good.
Skip.
Doubles. I ended up
You
winning.
got skipped from Evo.
I ended up, yeah, sure did.
Skip Luigi.
Yeah. Can't remember much of Big Cheese. Well, I found out that Spud and I'm the only person in the country who can actually play doubles with Spud.
With Spud?
As it turns out. Yeah, with Spud, because he's like the best player in the country, except he usually hates doubles because he finds that most people he wants to play with just either get in his way or just do things he doesn't want them to do. But my whole playstyle in doubles is to give the person on my team room to do what they want and then just mold how I play around them. And so he really liked that, and so we ended up teaming for the first time, and then we won over the best team in Australia. And so then I said to him, "Hey, you want to team at more majors?" And he's like, "Yes."
Cool.
Like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
So yeah, he's my new teammate, which is nice.
Oh yeah, for when there are majors. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So that was nice. I ended up losing to him in winners semis of Big Cheese, and I almost won game 1, and that would have set a precedent for the rest of the set. Except Spud's really good, so I was last stock, almost last hit. I think he was at like 50%. I was at like 100, so I got him close, and he ended up scratching that one out, and then the rest of the set he like pretty comfortably beat me, but I think he really got the momentum from winning that game and just kind of went with it. And then I also ended up losing to SA Nick, who by winning that set went positive on me, went 2-1, but I got revenge at Genesis.
That's all that matters, right?
Yeah,
you won in another country.
Exactly. So I got fifth at Big Cheese, but still happy because I want to keep consistently hitting my top 8s and still be known as, because if I'm gonna get ranked in Australia, I want to stay top 8.
Yeah,
that's where I want to be.
I beat Spud in a friendly, so I was happy.
Mate, it's like saying I beat you in a Terry mirror. All right, just because I
It
haven't
counts
won.
if you want it to.
26-1. You can't say that.
Absolutely.
You
It was like
definitely can say that.
It was like
Many
4-1.
times for SDs, mate.
If you're gonna take it and just go, oh, I got a friendly.
Yeah, nah, I got a down throw.
I got a
nipple spike. Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, and then I SD'd twice. That summed up most of the matches.
Yeah, that was like Terry's like week 1 though.
Yeah, day 1, I think even. I remember coming home from work and just like messaging and be like, "Hey, can Terry do this, this, and this, and this?" And you just went through and tested it all for me. It was great.
Yeah.
That
was Big Cheese, yeah.
Yeah, that was Big Cheese. Then we had Couch Warriors Cross-Up, well, DD and I anyway. Although that was less of an
fuck.
Ath event for me. That was more of a personal trip because I brought over
Yeah.
Wonder Kid Roach from WA just to test out some Tekken play interstate because he hasn't really done that. So that was interesting for me. But ended up being there for DD anyway.
Bit of a not my event. Doubles, John and I. What a surprise. Singles was losing to Joe again, and then losing to Luma for ninth. Luma's amazing. My set versus Luma was probably the most I've ever been just destroyed in my life. I did worse versus Luma than I did to Buzz at Evo. Luma just triple three stocking me, almost JV forward me one game. It was like an absolute disaster for me. Like I just gave up at the end. Like when I just looked down at the percents and I saw he was on 20 and I was at 90 on my last stock, and I'm just like, I literally just look at him. I'm like, you're really good, and he's like, thanks, man. And then I run up screen. I'm like, GG's, whatever.
You're really good.
You're really good, dude. and then Luma went on to get like fourth. So I was like, yeah, that was his day.
He definitely deserved that win.
Yeah.
That was an interesting tournament, though. I think we
Yeah.
ended up just hanging out in the corner, just having a chat.
This was like the ghost. This was like the ghost winning streak of majors, where he won Big Cheese and Catchphrase cross up back to back. So
Yeah.
everyone thought Ghost was going to be like this unstoppable god.
I think the highlight for me, and this isn't even me, this is listening to you and Lawrence talk. Because
Oh, yeah,
while
Lawrence and I
Tekken,
just-
yeah, while I was commentating Tekken Top 4, he was sitting next to Lawrence, the FG manager for Kanga, just having a big old chat about Tekken and life and everything, right? Now Naveed, so one of one of Kanga's players was up playing Grands, and this guy had a bet with Lawrence that he was going to go the same side. So essentially, when one of the characters Naveed was playing was Marduk, when he mounts you, like physically mounts you, he's on top of you. Is he going to throw a left hand, right hand, or both?
And so you make bets on
I
this.
think
Yeah.
in real life it's optimal to always go both, but
Oh no, 'cause it's slower, right? That's the whole thing. You can
okay.
react to it. And I can go through it in depth how to tech it, but anyway, for the purpose of this, he said he'd go left again. Lawrence said he'd go right. But before they could even check it, he died to getting mount itself. It does a little bit of damage when you get tackled to the ground, right? Just a little bit.
It's kind of like flipping a coin, and then it
Lands
lands
in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he went up to Naveed after the match and was like, "Hey, if that mount hit, were you going to go left or right?" And Naveed said left, of course, because he's been going left every single round. Just small interactions between like the community, man. It's just great.
yeah.
And this
That's what
chicken
I was
gives a
talking
shit.
about before. Like, it is really the community that makes it just like, because you're amongst just people that are all like the same
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you do.
Everyone loves fighting games. So it's like,
Yeah.
everyone understands them. You don't have
Party
to
games aren't bad either.
That's it.
Hey, thanks, man.
yeah. Yeah, Melee is pretty bad. They had items legal at one point.
I don't even want to think about that, man. That's,
that was like
Poker floats? Poker floats items
Oh
on anyone?
no, we're not talking about that.
if Poker Floats
Dude,
was legal,
to be
I'd still
fair,
play.
it's consistent. It's always the same pattern.
Yeah, but the glitches.
But still better than Pokemon Stadium. No, honestly, for a game that's 20 years old, it's fair enough that they had a past of bad rule sets.
Yeah.
The fighting game community was still a baby.
You know what? I want to see a tournament of Dragon Ball with infinite meter selected, just cause.
Yeah,
No.
there you go.
No,
imagine?
dude, with EX moves, they
Oh,
like that's already what you're seeing now that they're
Yeah,
0.5.
your intangible state would be permanently intangible.
Pretty much.
Permanently Spark 3.
I could just do it whenever.
Yeah.
Or like my frame one invincible launcher, like that wins neutral for you. Just it'd be pain, just
Yeah.
pain.
I don't want to think about that. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
So I think was it Metashift first or Genesis? I think it was Metashift then Genesis, right?
I
Yes.
think- When was Genesis?
January.
Oh no, Genesis was first.
No, there you go.
Metashift was March.
Really?
Or like
Wait,
late, mid,
Metashift
early
was
February.
last month? Wait. This
Oh no,
month?
early February. Sorry. No, early February. Sorry. I was thinking early March. I was thinking
Oh,
Phantom.
time.
Okay.
I was thinking
Alright.
Phantom. God.
All right, so I went to Genesis. That was an event for me by myself, and I got voted into like their compendium thing, and then I raised like $400, but I paid the rest myself from money I borrowed from my mother, who thankfully let me borrow it, which I've all paid back now actually as
Hey.
of a few weeks ago,
Working class sock.
which is sick.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So Genesis is crazy because Genesis is my first
I hope
super
that's
major
it.
tournament. Is this a crash?
No, you're
Hello?
I mean,
No,
you're still
you're
here.
good. You're good.
All right, sorry. I think my computer just. So yeah, that was my first super major. Um, nerves were like really hitting me full force because Hungry Box, Leffen, Mango, like everyone's. And I
How
got to
many?
meet all of them.
What was it like out of the top 100 players in the world? How many were there? It was like 80 or something.
81.
81 of top 100. Damn.
Yeah, 81 of the
Solid
top
showing.
100 players in the world were there.
So many.
And so that was intense. It was a really cool trip because I went with some of the other Australian guys who like planned it. And they all work, so they could afford it. And they had this big plan to go. And they were staying like we were staying with the like really famous streamer like Ludwig. Heard of him?
Oh, you guys stayed with Ludwig?
We stayed with Ludwig. Yeah,
That's so cool.
and that was awesome. I especially made friends with Envy, like the cinematographer. He's a really cool guy. And so we're chatting heaps with him. We went to Disneyland, which was sick that trip. But if we're actually going to talk about the tournament, which I should, the tournament was really good. I played doubles with SA Nick. I'd never played with him before in double, and I didn't team with Spud because Sora was already teaming with him because National decided. So I teamed with SA Nick as like just a random thing, and ended up coming 33rd in doubles at a super major.
How many teams were there?
Like 480,
It's pretty
I
solid effort.
think. Yeah. And I believe we went game 3 last hit versus Spark and Kalamazoo, who are both top,
Oh, that's good.
Who does Spark
and
play?
Sheik.
So Sheik Peach, yeah.
versus Foxmart. And I got 7 kills that game, and SA Nick like, ooh, and then I died, and it was SA Nick versus Kalamazoo, and he lost it. I wanted to just shrivel up and die because like I played so amazingly, I deserve. But unfortunately, it's doubles as team games. That's how it goes.
Yep.
But in singles,
Pretty good.
I ended up winning. I got my first top 100 win. That's right. Yeah, Genesis is cool. I forgot. Yeah. So.
How'd you
Alright,
forget about France?
that super
How'd
major
you
was
forget about
really
being
good.
France?
Yeah. All right. So I won my first. Wait, I had to buy my first round. So round 1 of pools. Then round 2, I had to play against this random dude. Absolutely destroyed this Foxman in the Ditto. Double 4 stocked him. Just pumped him.
It's a bit mean.
Then I had to play against. I had to play against this. I don't even know, like a SoCal ranked Sheik main. I don't know if it's SoCal. I can't actually remember like what region he was. The tag is CrossFit Jesus, and he took like quite a lot of good wins. He came 97th actually, so he did really well. But I ended up playing against him, beat him game 3. Game 1, he 2-stocked me, and I was like, fuck no, please, I don't want to lose to a random. Well, not even a random, but just not a top player. And so I was like, okay, I got to turn it up. Game 2, I barely win last stock. Game 3, I 3-stocked him on Yoshi's. He let me go to Yoshi's. Never.
Why?
I don't know why.
I'm raising my hands.
Took me to
There's
Yoshi's.
bans
I
now.
banned Fountain of Dreams, and he took me to Yoshi's. Like, thank you for giving me my best stage ever, where I get most of my good wins. So I was like, thank you. So I destroy him on Yoshi's, and then I realized I had to play France to get out of my pool winner side. And I'm like, oh god, I can actually make it out of pools at a Super winner side. And I was like, but I have to play against the best Dr. Mario player in the world, who's rank 82 in the world. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I can do it. Game 1, I win. Last stock, last hit. Barely clutch it with a gimp, and I was super happy.
Was
then
Franz
after,
broken?
no, he's a pretty like chill dude. He's also my age. He's like a month older than me. We're both 18 now, but we were both 17 at the time. So that was like both young guys too. So it was like a pretty hectic. And then after I won game one, there was a crowd of like 50 to 80 people that just suddenly showed up behind us because I think it spread. Like this random Australian's got a big friend. Game two, he ended up beating me last hit on, I believe, Fountain of Dreams because I banned Dreamland. I was fine with him. Wait, no, I banned FD, and he took me to Fountain of Dreams instead of Dream. So I think that's because he didn't want to get camped out because game one I hot camped it, and that's how I beat him. And Dreamland's easy to camp, easier than Battlefield.
Yep.
Game three, he banned Yoshi's because he watched my CrossFit Jesus set, and I took him to Pokemon. And I also hard camp transformations. But he's such a good player, he's still like 0 to deathing me, so it was like last stock. And I end up getting this sick combo where I get a drill and then turn around up tilt. I get a full hop back air, and then I hit like 3 neutral airs in a row off the stage. And then I wait for him to land with a neutral air. I wave dash back to bait it, knowing exactly what he's going to do and up smash him. And then I just like, I fist bump him, I just fall back in my chair and cry. I was so happy. Yeah, everyone was like freaking out in the crowd, and that was awesome. So I made it like into round 2. I had to play against Sunze round 1 of round 2 pools. Winner side. If you didn't know, Sunze just came off the back of beating Nun, who's ranked 15 in the world, and Moki, who's ranked 14 in the world, because he lives in Canada, and Canada's a really and so we had a good set. It was actually kind of close, but he ended up beating me 2-0 still. Like the games were close individually. So I felt pretty good about it because I was like keeping up with him. He was just punishing harder. And I can get there eventually. But he was just better in the moment, and you know, he said I was good after the set and before the set that I looked good and that he was actually nervous playing me. So that was nice to be feared. But yeah, so I lost to him.
It does feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, knowing that you can't sleep on me, you know, that's a good feeling. But then in losers, I was kind of just like, okay, I'm not gonna get 120 Genesis, well, whatever it is, straight in round 2. So I just started winning instead, and I don't know, I just kind of held forward and did the shine button a lot in the right places, and I won against people, and then I realized to get into the qualifying round, to like get into top 64, right? I had to play against SA Nick, and SA Nick is the guy that I was down 1-2 with, and he's from Australia. So I had to play against an Australian at a super major, which is crazy storyline because I was not seeded. I was not seeded to go that far. Yeah, I was seeded to lose to Franz and then lose to another dude and come like 129th. Except I ended up not doing that, and then I ended up pretty like. I did super well. I had so much momentum that tournament, playing with like leveled up mid tournament too. Just after beating friends, I just kept playing well, and I ended up beating SA Nick comfortably. Then I had to play against Billy Bo Peep, who's like a top 40 Fox main, and that set was also close, but he ended up winning that too, and that was 2-0. So it was like I was just losing to Foxes, and I'm like, well, you know, that's actually a matchup that I can practice.
You can't complain about that, right? Like that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Josh lost to Boyd, who's an Ice Climbers, and if you lose to an Ice Climbers, then it's like, well, sucks for you, because who are you going to play, right? Who are you going to play against? You can't. Like, there's no one to play. So, me having a problem with Fox at the high / top level, that's a good problem to have, say, you know? If I'm going to have a problem, I want that to be it. So that was a good takeaway, and, you know, can't complain about going from being a shit-talking net player 2 years prior to this event to coming 65th at a super major and beating the best of a character in the entire game.
Really shows the duality of man. How your pop off is just like Oh, thank God. And my pop-off results in me getting blocked on Twitter.
I just fist bumped him and fell back in my chair and started crying. And then Aiden Calvin, if you know Aiden,
Yeah.
he's like hugging me, just like freaking out. And he's like, I can't believe that fucking happened. Oh, it was actually like,
Came to Doc. Wow, you're evil.
dude, you have to. You actually have to. Doc is cheese.
Yeah, you
I
get,
literally
you
did
get
nothing
up for
but
a- you get up for
laser.
a fan.
Yeah, I did nothing but laser, just wave dash in up tilt, and then just full hopped constantly. I just sat on the side platform, back air, or just shield drop back air, and then he started approaching me. I'm like, nope, and I just run to the other side of the stage. I'm like, oh, I'm not throwing this set away.
He's
I've been
Doc,
here
what's he gonna
before.
do,
I've been
right?
on the
Like, it's
stage.
just run.
Yeah, I'm like, you're not a top tier. You can't actually reach me here because you're not fast. I'm like, you may be a really good player, but you chose to play a shit character. So I'm sorry. Like, I feel like the one really good thing about the way that I play is that I'm willing to adapt to playing lame if I have to. Well, a lot of people just are stubborn with it. So it's like I play this. I don't know. I kind of change depending on what people kind of give me. They hand it to me, and then I just, as I said, like similar to how I play doubles, I just way I want to play around it. And so yeah, as soon as he started like approaching with random docs shenanigans, crazy like approaching pill jab execution tests shit, I just started going, nope, I'm running away. I'm standing here and using my friend that combos into a kill me. Like, sorry to tell you, but I chose like a top 2 character in the game, and you didn't.
Oh,
So it was
top
nice.
two. All right, math believers.
Yeah, Martha's broken. You know how it.
I need Zane to win a few more Genesis to believe that.
All right.
So it's gonna take a while. So that was Genesis. Then you guys, was it both of you or just DD that had meta shift? I can't recall.
I didn't. Metashift was ultimate only, I believe, right?
It might have been actually. No. It had multiple fighting games.
All right. Melee wasn't there, from what I know.
No, I think it was more like an FGC and Ultimate.
Yes.
Metashift. Oh,
No party games allowed.
I decided to go to Metashift around 2 days before signups closed and around 9 days before the actual event started. So it was very last minute. I'm very happy I did go. The main thing that sealed it for me was like right before it happened, bam, got announced a 2K pop bonus. I'm like, yep, sign up time. Yeah. Potentially lots of money. And I went there, and because of school, I couldn't actually get there early enough for doubles because doubles started on Friday. But I did get there Friday night just for friendlies, and then I stayed with Sad Hour. He's ranked like third in Queensland or so. Great guy, really good hospitality. He showed me the way of. He kind of reinforced the idea that having eggs and bacon in the morning before you go to a tournament will make you win. And I kind of realized that around OHN.
You mean good food, right? That's the
Yeah,
the
just
takeaway.
actually-
No,
eating-
specifically bacon and eggs. Because sometimes I do have breakfast.
Did you have pepper?
toast-
It's a serious
No.
question.
No,
Oh
I
man,
did not. I had salt.
fucked up.
I had salt. Give me a break. But yeah, went into that. Pools, swept through. Had one close game, but that was about it. 5-0, whatever. And then we didn't have doubles. We had squad strike, or crew battles. I was teaming with Ben Gold and Sad Hour, and it was kind of weird because it's just like you had one game, and if you didn't do your job, you fucked up. But basically, in the end, it got down to winners finals, and Ben and Sad Hour only took one stock, and I had to take 7 off of Ghost, Day, and Seb. I took the 1 off Ghost, but I lost 1. I took 3 off Day, but I lost 1, and then I went last hit with Seb and lost. So I took 6 stocks last hit. I was like, damn, that almost happened. And then the next game, or in grand finals, it was the exact opposite because I only took 1 stock off Ghost. Oh no, I only took 1 stock off Seb. And then Sad Hour took 2, and then Ben ended up taking 4 and went last hit with Ghost. So yeah, we got second in squad strike, so it's nice. was really fun side of it. And then top 64. Damn, top 64 was something else. Beat Kanaji 3-1. I'll specify that one for later. And then I beat Duon 3-0 to make top 8 winners side. Finally winning a winners quarter set. Oh god, long overdue. And then top 8. We had a pretty good entrance for top 8. I liked it. But then after that, went on to 3-0 Seb. Yeah, get back at you for score strike. And I went on to 3-0 Shadru. And I went on to 3-0 Purple H and win, only dropping one game the whole tournament.
Yeah, and
And it was
The
amazing.
Japanese prodigy.
Yeah, only one game I dropped, and that was to Kanaji.
This
12-year-old
Japanese
prodigy.
kid is insane.
He's 12 years old.
We
and
have
he
one of
plays
those
Snake.
too. Tsuyoshi
yeah.
No, he plays Snake.
No, I'm saying
in Dragon Ball.
we have a Dragon Ball Japanese
yeah,
kid called Tsuyoshi, who
Tsuyoshi.
actually plays at Fighting Tuesdays with his dad.
Yes, he does.
And
It
I
was
think,
funny though. Marmite went over and then actually bullied the fuck out of him. Like he beat him pretty bad because Japanese players do nothing but Super Dash. And when you play in Australia, connection's that bad. You kind of just bait Super Dash all day.
Yeah.
So it was a good recipe to destroy most Japanese players, except for then I think he played Kazunoko off stream, and that was he got destroyed a bit. But apparently he was actually able to take games off Kaz, and if you can take games off Kaz, then you're doing something right.
yeah, that's it. I think the other player when I was over there, Aqua, played like differently from what I could tell from the other Japanese players.
Aqua plays like Ginyu. He's a big. His brain's as big as Ginyu's look.
Yep.
Essentially.
Huge.
Massive.
there-
Also, if it's just going to be like Smash talk from here, I might, because I have to go do something quickly. I have to help out with something if it's all right, because you've been streaming for 2 hours.
Yeah, wow, this has actually gone on a little longer than I thought it would.
Your room has gone dark.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
that's
has.
it,
The
yeah.
sun's actually gone.
It's
Um,
actually gone down. So
yeah, if you need a bounce,
I
mate,
might.
go
Yeah,
for
I
it.
might jet.
But thanks for hopping on.
I'll
and-
catch them. No problem, man.
See you, dude.
See you,
But
man.
yeah, catch you boys.
All right. So, okay, I gotta adjust the layout now. He did
Oh,
this
is
on
it-
purpose.
Is it messed up now?
It's a little bit. It's not too bad.
That's right.
Nah, it's alright.
You're Sock SSBM now.
Oh hell yeah! So you can have the Rimey tag, and okay, coach, what's the play? What's up next?
Quickly with meta shift, yeah. Because of the 2K pop bonus, I was actually just happy. Because I've got this one teacher at my school who says, "Oh, Smash isn't an option, you know. It sucks." And like I told them before the weekend, I'm like, "Hey, on Friday, I'm missing the last class of school, which would be your class, to go to this tournament. Sorry." And they're like, they were so disappointed in me. And then I come back and they're like, "Oh, how'd you go? Did you do good?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh, did you win money?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Probably not that much." I'm like, "More than you earn in a week." And it was just the most. And I earned it in a weekend. It was just like funny banter, but it was so funny. Yeah, it was nice.
So, what I remember from MetaShift, because at this point in time we had another tournament going on, a WA mini major for Tekken
Oh,
and
I
a few other
remember that.
games, the Wild West.
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, so I was over there commentating as well as playing, and somehow I almost made top 8, which definitely shouldn't be happening. Please, guys, come on, don't let me hit top 8 ever. It's there. I got tagged in the staff chat from Kirsty, and it was just a clip of your top 8 intro,
Oh god, yeah.
and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
I asked for permission before I did it, and no one seemed against it.
Oh,
so
like honestly, it was fine. Like there was no issues there. I realized like midway through you were doing CM Punk sort of thing, but it's to begin with. I was like, he's calling everyone out. Fuck yeah, let's go.
I don't like the idea that you're the first seed of this tournament. Well, I should be first seed, and I'm gonna prove it right now when I know everyone.
Yeah, and man, did you just do that? It was great.
It's so funny. It'd actually be like I don't know. I feel like it would be way funnier if you just got destroyed from then on.
Yeah, no, I get 0 to death by Seb like 9 times, and then I just
Yeah.
lose to Joey.
Just
Because if I lost to Seb, I would have had to play Joey.
that's nuts. So yeah, that happened. You had a clean tournament. And
Yeah.
then I think that was it. That's the last event that we've kind of been at, right?
Phantom.
Oh yeah, Phantom happened. Shit, forgot about that.
Oh, also, right before Metashift, actually, like 2 weeks beforehand, I won my first monthly that we had in Vic, my first Cash Warriors monthly at least. So that was
I'm
finally
still
got that.
Rimey.
Yeah, you're not changing, mate. You got the tag now. That's you.
Oh, yeah, you're a really good Tekken player, I've heard.
Cheers, man.
Yeah. Oh hey, what's that combo you do where you step? You know,
Oh, you know, I just step and kick, and it happens.
that's a punch. Got him. He's a fake.
Damn, unfortunate.
So yeah, I won my first monthly. I destroyed Jono 6-1. He was like on the verge of tears, it looked like. And yeah, but then we had Phantom. Did they have? Yeah, they had Melee Phantom. That was a bit weird
A bit weird.
because like that was like right as COVID was about to hit Australia.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it had
That
already
was-
kind of hit it. I mean, I had a fever, and I was very sick, and
Oh yeah,
Like-
they said if your fever was too high, you're not allowed to come.
and I barely had below the amount for a fever on the day, so they let me in. Except I was very sick during the tournament, and
I saw you sitting far from everyone. That made me
I had a
happy.
face mask and I sat away from everyone, and I was kind of miserable the whole tournament, and I played very bad. But my very
But, I mean,
bad
you were
now is still
literally-
7th, so I like
Yeah,
yeah. So that
I
was
fixed
pretty
the
good.
tags.
Yeah.
Can't even
Um,
center it. Damn.
All right.
Was
Um,
there doubles? I feel like there was
Oh, yeah.
doubles.
I bet say,
I
did
came
you
second.
team with?
I came second. I teamed with MC.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
What about you, Didi? Oh yeah, you've already kind of gone, haven't you? Like,
Oh,
Phantom.
That was Phantom last year. Phantom last year compared to this year, I had so much going into it because the year before I lost round 1, and I had to win like 12 sets in losers, and I got second. And that was like my first major. That was the first ultimate major, I reckon. So that was pretty big. But then this Phantom, he had even more entrants, and we also had Dark Wizzy coming in. You know,
I love Duck Wizzy.
ranked 22nd in the world, but really, like, he's got top 8 at 3 S tiers. He's got 5th, 7th. He got 2nd at an A tier. He won 2 B tiers. It's like, yeah, he's like 8th in the world right now. Doubles, me and Jono kind of cleaned everyone up until winners finals. We had Dark Wizzy Corvid. Corvid,
Getting very carried. I love Corbett, but I don't.
no, Corvid.
Very carried.
No, Corvid isn't carried in doubles. Corvid is really good at doubles. In Smash 4, he was a better doubles player than me, and I was like 12th in Oz, and he was like not even top level. And he was like in doubles at BAM 10, especially. We teamed, and we got 2nd, and we were seeded to get like 25th, and it was literally all him. It was crazy, but he's an amazing doubles player, one of the best. Like he can day one team with anyone and win anything. That's what we did actually. We were
Right.
forced to team randomly for an event, and we ended up beating like 4 PR teams when we both went in for PR at the time. We were like
That's so sick.
30th. So yeah, we had to fight him and Dark Wizzy, and set 1, we won. It was pretty close. There was a 1v1. Game 1, Jono had a 1v1 with Corvid, which he barely won. In game 2, they won comfortably. Game 3, we were in a 2v1 versus Dark Wizzy, and Dark Wizzy up smashed Jono, and I was at like 130, and Dark Wizzy was at like 70. And when he did the up smash, I dash attacked, and because he was at ledge, he DI'd way to the side. He died from a dash attack.
I
at
remember
70.
that.
He died, and like me and Jono, we just looked at each other and we just kind of like laughed. We're like, wow, this dude really happened. This actually happened. So got that, and then game 5, we were in a 2v1 versus Dark Wizzy, and as soon as I saw Jono get like 60% from a combo, and then he upbeat him, I'm like, yeah, it's my time. Get that
Yeah.
loft out of the up B. We pop off. Yeah, winners finals. They came back in grand finals, but it was like not even close. It was like 3-1, and last game wasn't close. That's the only time we haven't popped off after a double set as well. Like, and it's against PGR, top 10 player in the world right now, I reckon. Duggsy. And then singles. Almost lost my pools round 2. That just happens.
Okay,
Most majors, I'm pretty close to losing early on. That was when Joe lost to Verse, because my projected bracket was I had to play Joe round 2 out of pools. So I was watching him versus Verse after game 3. And as soon as I saw Verse get that up tilt, I like literally popped off for Joe. For Verse. I like ran around the room. I'm like, yes, I don't have to play Joe. Yes.
I do
on.
remember saying that, yeah.
I'm like, top of my lungs, yes.
Poor Joe, just went all depressed.
Yeah, I felt so bad for Joe, but also good for me. Out of round 1, I beat my round 1 Glace 3-0, and then I had to play Poppet 3-1, got a cool bike combo, it's pretty sick. And then beat Saber 3-2 last hit, and then top 8 wasn't great. 3-1 versus Jono. Jono's good. And then 3-1 versus Shrix. I got chromocided 3 times. A bit messy, but listen, it happens. The last chromicide, I thought he wasn't making it back, so I was just standing scratching my eye.
That was so funny.
I was like this, and I look up at the screen, and I just see game. I'm like, oh, he's on his last stock. And then I just see I'm dead. I'm like, hang on.
Yeah, wait a second.
What the fuck? And like, I wasn't even sad. I was just amazed. I'm like, I wasn't ready to lose there.
Yeah.
But it's alright. That happens. And then went back to the Airbnb with the Geelong people. Because it was like US 6. I didn't want to risk that. And also wanted to chill with them.
Yeah.
Got on the Morgans. Got on the VB long necks. Played, what do you call that game? Jackbox. Just chilled with them. It was good. It was great, yeah. Pretty good tournament.
Yeah.
And that's basically where we're at. That was like the last tournament I went to, actually.
That's kind of
Before
for a lot
the
of
virus.
people, right? Yeah. But
And that was literally a
before
month
D0.
ago.
Yeah.
I haven't been to a tournament in a month. I did an online tournament 2 days ago, actually.
How was that?
I just played solo Pikachu for fun. I got 5th. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically where we're at.
The future is online, and that.
I'm quitting. Sorry.
I don't want to hear that thing.
That's that.
Can we get some rollback netcode on every single game out there, please? That'd be sick.
Yeah, Raptor's excited, but we're not.
I mean, that's if we get it, man. There's no guarantee. Yeah. But that's all right. Look, that's kind of like a good summary of what kind of happened. You both travel internationally. Got some really good wins. So did Raptor.
Mastermind.
I mean,
I got Kiraflax angry.
Australia's on the map.
Yeah,
I got Kiraflax angry. That's all I needed.
That was hilarious. You made a clip, yeah.
The good old Kira rage. I haven't seen that in a long time. Mostly because I haven't looked for it.
The look into the camera too, though.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just like.
Did he take his shirt off?
Yep.
I can't remember.
No, he was just like.
Yeah,
that's right.
And then like you can't actually hear it in the mic, but he went over to Master Mario and he's like, dude, what the fuck, stupid ass fucking character, like what the fuck, he just fucking passed on me, like what the fuck is this? You better fucking fuck this little kid up, I swear, you better fuck him up. He was like talking a million miles an hour, just saying, please fuck this kid up, please fuck him up. And then like 10 seconds passes, Kiraflex comes over like, sorry man, I get a bit crazy. Wednesday night fights, I want to beat your ass. I'm like, yeah, alright. We went to the wrong local.
Whoops.
They had Wednesday night fights and then they had World Clash Wednesday. And we accidentally went to World Clash Wednesday. I won that though, over Zenu. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Whoops. You just take the W, dodge him, and then
yeah, dodge Kira. He was so upset.
He just went back across the entire world and just take away his probably chance forever.
Yeah, Kira, if you're listening into this, man, you need to come down here, say you're gonna fight DD, and then just go to the wrong menu. Just pay back.
I'll gladly have a money match with Dan.
There you go.
History's on your side.
When it happens. But till then, we're kind of at square one, right? So
yeah,
it's
the plague's letting everyone get that reset.
Yeah, but in terms of
pandemic.
FGC in general, there's not much going on at the moment because of because of world
Yes.
events. So I guess we're just gonna take it one step at a time. Who knows
Yeah.
what the future holds, right, guys?
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy coming back, and it's like all the legends of a game are washed, and all the up and comers are like back and doing okay. And then the Wi-Fi legends come back and they're bodying like Cola is right now in Ultimate.
True, yeah, Cola.
Yeah. It's either you have one or two people that you, because I don't know what restrictions you guys have over there, but at the moment we have a restriction of 2 people for social
Yeah.
interactions. So,
Yeah, we got the same.
Family. Yeah.
yeah.
Like family living in your household.
Technically, I'm allowed to go out and talk to someone I haven't met before. Just one
And-
person though.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Oldies don't
and
give a
there's
shit, but yeah.
and it's a 1.5 meter range, no matter who you're with in Victoria.
Yeah.
It's like
I think
even
it's
in your
consistent
family
all around.
household, it's considered 1.5 meters. But I think most families just they can't stop you. They're in a private household.
Yeah. But who knows how it's gonna change, right? Only time will tell.
Yeah,
Until then, I think it's been a bit longer than
good
what
2.5
I
hours of
Yeah, it's a tad longer than we thought
Yeah.
it'd be.
yeah.
I apologize,
seeing that.
kids.
Yeah, we're starting at 5:30. We're ending at 6:30. It's all good. Start at 6, end at 8:30.
I mean, it's
No, I think
it's
we
ending
start
at
at
6:30
6.
for me. I wasn't lying, you know.
yeah, but you're also from over there.
Over
wherever
there.
that place is.
Oh,
Yeah, over there.
yeah.
The only
okay.
thing you're remembered for is having a cactus. in
Dude,
Perth.
so I inquired about this because I don't know why everyone cares about this damn cactus so much. It turns out when the sun's like angled right, it has a shadow of a proper cactus or some shit. That's all it's. That's the only reason why it's like known.
It's so strange.
It's so fucking pointless.
Yeah, but what else has got Perth got?
Mate, we got the culture of the foods.
The foods.
The foods. I
yeah,
mean,
not my style.
You also have Spud.
no, it's fine. Yeah, no, we don't have anything,
Mhm.
and that's. But you know, we do have space and easy to navigate roads. So, fuck your other states. I said it. I want to get one place. I just gotta drive on a single road, dude. That's all I gotta do.
Yeah, at least we got like 5 locals a week. Now we got none.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Sydney life. Well, I guess in Ultimate they've tournament.
Bro, even
Yeah.
we had locals. Come on.
We have like 2 or 3 locals for Ultimate.
Yeah,
so-
I had a 1 monthly, and then I crossed my finger and get cancelled due to some TO not bothering that week or that month. That's melee.
Yeah.
That's literally how it is.
Please don't cancel.
If you have a look at my last tournaments that I've actually attended, it's like I attend about 1 tournament in between each major. Sometimes not even a tournament in between majors. It's actually
That's like how many tournaments I enter in half a week.
yeah, it's
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Melee's like
Y'all,
move to Vic.
y'all are nuts.
yeah, it's like okay, I'll read a tiny bit. Third at MEO was 1. The next tournament I attended was OHN, which I won. After that, I had 2 monthlies, both of which I won. Then it was Big Cheese, Genesis, straight after that. So Big Cheese and then Genesis. So right there, that's like a month in between. And then after that, I won another monthly, and then it was Phantom.
All right.
So that's like out of 7 tournaments, 4 of them were majors or super major.
All right.
I've actually got all of my tournament results here as well.
Josh,
second fan.
Is that something you really want us to bring up? Just
I was only saying it because I have the sheet.
I
just
have the sheet here.
no,
Yeah, I just
I
have
don't know if you're
a
reading
sheet.
chat. That's
Oh, what's happening there?
thoughts on everyone leaving Atletico.
It is what it is.
You know what? Should we
nah.
bring Josh in for this? I'm kind of curious.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's 2.5 hours, maybe a little.
Do you want to come in, Josh? Talk later. I'm happy to talk about my position currently. I think that I should talk about it
I'm happy to do the same,
because
Ghost.
I'm actually straight after this going to write a tweet longer and post it officially.
Hey, yo, it's Twit Longer time, boys. But no, we
Uh,
don't want. I'd rather not just join the Twit Longer group and kind of like discuss this a little bit further. So if you want to hop on, Josh.
I don't think I've ever done a tweet longer.
First
But
round.
yeah, I feel like I need to explain exactly the situation because I want to make sure it's clarified that my decision to step away from Atletico is very much so because of
Yo.
internal
Hey, man.
issues, not because of anyone in particular.
Guys.
Yeah, how's it going?
Pretty good.
So, who wants to start? Is it going to be myself or is it going to be yourself, Josh?
I can just keep.
I'm about to say
Kinda talk-
Soccer's talking
Yeah,
about
yeah, I was talking about it.
Yeah, do you think, man? Do you think?
Yeah, so I was saying that my reason for stepping away, obviously my contract had ended, it had been ended for a while. I'd kind of asked for it to be fixed, but there were just so many issues going on at the time, so like it never happened essentially signing back on. And so like a lot of it for me was just waiting around, trying to figure out when I could sign back on because I was really happy to sign back on, but there was, a whole lot of lack of communication too. And I found that Rimey would always answer, but then it got to the point where once he hit Rimey, it just couldn't be escalated past that. And there was only so much Rimey could do too. And so a lot of it for me was being like, hey, I have this event. I want to go to this major. Would we be able to like book flights or accommodation for it? And then it'd be like I'd message Mangy about it, except Mangy would take a while to get around to it. And I would kind of panic as the date was coming by, and I would message Kirsty and I'd message Rimey, and it'd just be a bit annoying because there was only so much we could do. And Rimey, he paid for I think one of my flights, right? And then he said to Mangy that here's the flight that I paid for. Could you pay me back for it? And like, sure, it's sorted out, but it's like, I think it was a lot of it was me kind of feeling guilty about almost having a burden put on Rimey without him accepting that that's like a responsibility, because it's almost like I don't think that was like the responsibility that he was taking up. And I've talked to Maggie about this too, actually, and I definitely think that obviously I shouldn't feel like that's like a large burden on him or feel too like heaps guilty about it, because obviously it's going to get sorted out eventually. But I just thought because everything had really slowed down, and I thought I never knew what was really going on, so it was just like there was only so much that I could do. And that kind of it kind of sucks because there's like a good 5 or 6 months there that everything just kind of stopped. And absolutely, let me just say it again, it is not an issue I have with anyone. I love every single person in Atletico. I love Richard included, for sure. He's an amazing guy. And the whole situation is super so much about it. And obviously there's miscommunication everywhere. At some point I have to separate what as a friend, as a close friend of everyone, what I want, which is not be on anyone's shitty side for leaving or doing anything like that, but also think about what's best for me, even though it's not like a work career per se, but what's best for me as a esports player or streamer or content creator at the time. And I'd say 6 months is a pretty good amount of time for me to give there before I go, hey, I kind of need to find something then, because this seems to be something that's ongoing now. And because I think the first 6 months was like me being, I don't want to make Richard upset because I love him. He's a great guy, but like, it's really shitty. I have since been contacted by an esports team. I'm not allowed to disclose anything, obviously.
To anyone.
Kind of, yeah. It's more just like I'm not really allowed to disclose it, but I've told the people who are in this chat just because, I always tell people who are close to me. Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Yeah,
That happens,
through it
yeah.
all, for sure.
That's it.
And that'll very much so say that way, and that's what I meant by like I have these interpersonal relationships, and then I also have the Athletico relationships,
Correct.
and so I don't want to break. I feel like the relationship within a team is something that can be like within Atletico. That obviously comes and goes as rosters come and leave, but the interpersonal ones I want to keep even when leaving.
Yeah.
And that's really important to me that I don't mix it.
It's important to separate your personal from your professional.
Exactly.
With in anything that you do, it's not just esports. It's throughout life. You know, you got to keep those relationships open at all points, because at the end of the day, like, you know, professions come and go, friends stick around forever. You know, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
So, you know, but I mean, I think me and Kirsty were the first ones to reach out to you in the first place. We had that meeting. I think Rimey vetted you prior. I can't remember exactly. It was a long time ago. But it was good to sort of like to see not just yourself, Sock, but Bradley as well. Sorry, Chadley. To sort of like grow to something more than just a player. You know what I mean? Like you guys are very similar in terms of your personalities, but like the way you guys carry yourselves now, especially you, Sock, is so much different. And it was amazing to see that transformation. I mean, I know Rami could probably speak a bit more about that as well. He got to know you guys a lot better than say I did.
Absolutely. I mean, that's actually something I was going to bring up before we kind of like ended tonight, was like between the three of you, you know, Raptor, forget that, Joseph, Jacob, and Brad, you know, like I consider you guys like a second family at this point, right? I've spent that much time with you, watched all three of you grow as people. I mean, watching Raptor start from an online warrior, and then coming out to events. I mean, we saw what happened at OHN. You know, he kind of shut down a little bit after the top 8 because of the nerves. But he's bounced back, as you can see. Like, he's all fun and games again. And that's really, like, that kind of growth. And that's happened to each and every one of you. And that's something, that's an experience that you guys will carry through, like, for the rest of life. Not just in esports, not just in gaming. As a person, you guys have grown. And it's awesome to see.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
I didn't get a chance to write like soppy goodbyes and whatever. Like you guys know, you know, I talk to you guys. Probably Sock more than DD, but you know, the way things unfolded, like no one left on really salty terms. You know what I mean? Like, there's no ill feeling. There's no saltiness or anything like that. Like I know, speaking for myself anyway, I don't know Kirsty's sort of the same. There's no hate. There's never been an ounce of hate, and we've always supported each other as much as we could, you know. So at the end of the day, like I feel like we did a good job, and I feel like you guys have gone above and beyond anything we ever expected, you know. So
appreciate it, man.
That honestly sums it up perfectly.
Yeah.
I can't say anything better than that. I'm supposed to be the coach here. What are you doing, man? You're still in my job.
And with Atletico, compared to the former teams I was in, like when I was with EBS, it was like, it was all business. With Surge, there was a bit of
EBS. Yeah, long time ago.
Don't know who that is.
Yeah,
I know Surge. I know that one.
Yeah, I was with them, and then I was with Surge. There wasn't really a social aspect. There was a little bit, but it wasn't like grand. It was mostly business. But then with Atletico, I actually like got to stay in like apartments with you all, and like I got to have dinner with you all. It's like, wow, I'm doing social things with these people. These people aren't just business to me; they're like family.
Yep, and that's very much the attitude we always tried to put forward. It didn't matter what team, it didn't matter how big or how small the game was. Like we're all working towards the same goal, and that's, you know, that's sort of the attitude we tried to carry on with everyone. It didn't matter whether they had just come on board, or whether, you know, they had been with us for 12 months. Like everyone was treated the exact same way. And you know, you can't say what you want about, you know, the miscommunications and the lack of communication and all that sort of stuff. At the end of the day, like look at the first 12 months compared to just that small amount of time where things started to really go downhill. you can't fault it. You know,
Yeah,
we
for
did
sure.
we accomplished so much as a collective. It's hard to not think about that. You know, you've got the small bad times, but you've got such a long period of you know, like actual stuff happening.
For sure.
You know, and
Yeah.
it's hard to look past that. You know.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think like as you said before, even in saying that it was super amazing. It's been super amazing with Atletico, and then even when things started to go downhill, it wasn't a personal going downhill. It wasn't a falling out whatsoever. And I think that's such an important thing because it is very, very easy to come away from something like a team falling out, right? But like I don't even know like how to put it's like a esports team, like staff members, just they're doing their own thing, and players going and finding new opportunities, and that can all happen without hurting each other's feelings and
Yeah.
being assholes to each other.
Yeah,
And I think that's
correct.
such an important thing to kind of recognize and separate, because I think a whole lot of people think when a team and like a lot of the members of it start to do their own thing and they realize that things aren't working out currently. A lot of people think it's all drama. There must have been a huge issue going on, and people must hate each other. But it's not the case at all. And I think going forward, but we're going to definitely be close friends.
Yeah, 100%.
And so it's
Definitely. I know personally, I'll be tracking. I'll still be in Twitch chat always. You know, Kirsty and I still watch the games. We still, we're still very heavily invested in the people that we know. We're not so much like we're not going out and looking for new orgs to represent and stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
we're not
exactly.
interested in it. You know,
Yeah,
we care about the people who we know, and that's at the end of the day, that's all that matters to us.
yeah.
So you
sure.
guys have got lifelong supporters in the both of us. So you know, it's at the end of the day, that's all that matters to us. As long as you guys find a good home, and as long as they treat you the way that you should be treated, not just as a number, I think that's important. A lot of people get caught up in the numbers side of things and like how much value do they put into you and all that sort of stuff. It's like, well, how much do you deserve? You know what I mean? Like, think it's all the intangible things that people don't think about, and they think about just the social numbers. And
Just being able to feel at
like
home
crap.
and feeling like part of
Exactly.
group.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
I
a
think
team.
that's
It's
the
a
important
team
part.
for a reason.
I've had a few teams message me, but like for the near future, I'm not really with like COVID happening, which is really unfortunate, and just like with year 12, I've just taken a backseat with Smash for now. So I'm probably gonna wait till like even the end of the year, December, before I do anything. But with how COVID's going, I might even have to wait longer if school gets extended.
Who knows? You know,
So,
everything's all up in the air at the moment. So, but I'm sure you guys will land on your feet. As I'm sure Atletico will land on its feet.
Yeah, and I hope that there's going to be a lot of awesome people to be around for that as well.
That's right.
Yeah, because
for sure.
I think the majority of us, so that includes myself, by the way. I've talked to Richard, and I've told him I'm stepping back as the FGC manager, as I can't put in as much time into it. Even though COVID's going on, my work's still busy.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah,
Exactly the same with me.
yeah.
I'm doing school, so there's no excuse.
That's as good as excuse as any. So I'm
Hey,
actually,
Chadley.
I'm adding to that as well. I'm going back and studying at the same time I'm working. So as well as sorting out my new house. So everything's kind of just coming together at the same time for me. And I need to focus on that. But
For sure.
That's it.
what I want to let you guys know, and this includes Raptor, I'll go back and watch this a little bit as well, is keep doing what you're doing. Like, keep growing. Take every opportunity and match and everything you do as an opportunity for growth. That is the number one piece of advice I can ever give you or anyone.
Yep. The
For
moment
sure.
you stop learning is the moment you stop having fun.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know? So everything that happens
It becomes
will teach you
pointless.
something, correct?
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you guys have felt that way as well. As like, why can't I beat this matchup, or why can't I, whatever.
Joe.
Just a person.
Joe.
He knows. Joe
Fuck.
wins, by the way. Joe wins.
Unless he plays Ghost or Sim.
Well, yeah, zero suit. His zero suit is pretty good. So, yeah, it's you gotta look at everything as it's not why can't I, but what do I need to do?
Hmm.
That's my parting words. I don't know. I'm trying
That's
to be
good.
deep, but I'm just
Yeah.
not. I'm just not.
Nah,
No,
it's not like that.
It all makes
Nah.
sense though.
You get it. You get
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we get it.
Sick.
Yeah.
Well, look, if you guys need me to go in and bat for you, more than happy to do so. Rimey will do the same.
Yeah, that's it. I think I've already reached out
Any
for a few.
Negotiations and stuff like that. I'm more than happy to look into it for you.
He's your guy.
Things seem pretty good for me
We'll see.
currently. We'll see.
I'll
Yeah.
talk to him.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
you'll talk to him.
Ooh.
You're like,
They get-
said threats. You're
Yeah.
like, you better treat him right.
They're
Yeah,
getting
if
the
you-
dad talk
you
now.
Yeah.
Oh damn! This guy's pretty serious. I don't know
Have
if I
my
want this
daughter
kid.
back
I don't know if I
home.
want this kid anymore. He's got some pretty serious fans.
I'll ruin the deal for you, son. What do you want me to do? Like, nah, it's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
As long as I said, as long as you find a home or as long as you find a place that they treat you well, and that's all.
For
that
sure.
matters.
Yeah, for
I'll
sure.
have one in the future.
That's all we
Yeah,
could ever want
cool.
for you guys. And
We'll see.
thanks again.
I'll steal you, Bradley, when you finish your HSC. I'll make it work, bro.
Yeah.
As
That's cute.
some cute promises, man.
Stop it, cutie.
Yeah, if they don't get someone else first.
All right, but
Alright.
look, I think that kind of wraps it all up. Thanks, Josh, for joining in.
Anytime.
But yeah, love from all the Atletico guys and the family that you guys have come to know and talk to, and all the best with the future as well.
He's done.
Thank you.
You'll see us. We'll be
Appreciate
around.
it.
See you
Yeah.
guys.
See ya.
Yeah.